Lions are still on their feet here at McMahon Stadium, celebrating the Alouettes' 35-24 win over the Bombers. Now, let's head west.
And yes, on a clear blue day, the Grey Cup City is awash with history. All of its recent McMahon Stadium ready for the '88 Classic. But can Calgary's club get there? Hi, everybody. Scott Russell along with Mike Pinball Clemens, the skipper of the good ship Argonaut. Don't you know that the Stampeders remember '93 when they hosted and they couldn't get it done? '99 BC remembers that. What prognostication poetically do you have for this one?
Well, Scott, today, for this one, we've been talking about offense all week long, right? And you'll need an Allen Rich to stop BC's offense. That's Damon Allen, of course. The statistics say that he's the best rusher as well as the best passer in the history of our game at his position. On the other side of the ball, Clark Kent, a.k.a. Dave Dickinson, a.k.a. Superman, is going to have to get the job done. He's been the best quarterback in the league this year. The two of them are going to go at it. Allen Bottomless Pitts is his man. He'll look for him early, but when it's all said and done, defense will tell how the West is won.
Mike Pinball Clemens will watch this with a coach's eye today. And to weave the tale, upstairs to Chris Cuthbert and Chris Walby. Guys.
Thank you, Scott. Good afternoon, everybody. Calgary spoiled Vancouver's Grey Cup party last year. Can BC return the favor today? There's the Jet, Jimmy Cunningham, back with Chuck Levy as the Lions will get their hands on the football first. The Western Final for 2000 underway. And the Jet spins away up the sidelines near the 45 to put BC in good field position for Damon Allen, who ended a 4-game playoff losing streak last week in Edmonton.
Well, he played a fantastic game last week. Last time he played these Calgary Stampeders, he passed for 407 yards as well, Chris. So you know he'd get it done through the air. He doesn't rush the ball much. Last week, ran the ball for 61 yards, the highest total this year. So look for him to take it off.
First down for the Lions. And Allen will go to the air. He'll swing it out. Robert Drummond to the near side, turn the corner, and steps out at the Calgary 54-yard line. Remember, Allen engineered an opening drive touchdown last week in the Western Semi.
Well, this guy had a great game last week in the playoffs as well. But, I mean, Damon Allen's a man. He's the key. Sean the Diesel, Millington, Robert Drummond in the backfield. What a powerful duo running the football. The receiving crew, Oliver, Jackson, Graham, and Donnie Blair on the outside. That big offensive line, Jamie Terrace, House of Pain, Harden, Chris Perez.
13 for Drummond, first down, and the give to Drummond left side, and he stopped. Kevin Johnson came up with a tackle, and a lot of people feel the key to the game is stopping that BC running attack.
Well, Alondra Johnson said they got to get up there and meet him at the line of scrimmage. These guys got their work cut out from Travisser, not so ordinary Joe Fleming, Shante Peoples, the linebacking crew, Alondra Johnson, Kevin Johnson, and of course, Hall at the linebacking crew in the secondary, anchored by free safety all-star Greg Freres.
Lions did not rush for 100 yards in a game against Calgary this year. Here's the Jet underneath, and he'll be short of a first down. Stopped after a short gain of 3. Again, Kevin Johnson with the tackle. It will be third down BC.
Well, they got a lot of flow out of those linebackers. Hall and the Johnsons, Alondra and Kevin. They're going to get out there. What is a nice call? You know you got to pick it up. Just a little screen. Give it to Jimmy the Jet. You know what he can do in the open field, but as you say, great pursuit from that defense, the speed of that linebacking crew to bring him down.
There he is. 25 years in the league, his silver anniversary, and going after the silverware again, Louis Pasaglia.
You know, Chris, he's a 90% plus field goals, but only 33 yards a kick last week, but look at this one already.
Angling it, and a bad kick for Pasaglia. Big punt goes through. The opening point of the game will go to BC on a 71-yard punt by the wily veteran who was trying to back Calgary up. Welcome back to the Western Final at McMahon Stadium, where the Lions take an early 1-point advantage against the men in black. led by Dave Dickinson, the outstanding player in the West this year. Look at those numbers. 36 touchdowns to lead the league and only 6 interceptions.
Well, absolutely, and has he played well against the BC Lions, completing 75% of his passes in the 3 games he's played them.
David Benefield will try to provide heat on Dickinson, who is playing under ideal conditions in this 2000 Western Final. Give to Kelvin Anderson, who kicks it outside, turns the corner, and steps out at the 48-yard line.
Well, they have to keep giving the ball to this guy. He can get it done out there, but a great job by that offensive line of getting a hat on a hat. Dickinson's the man, the fullback Dwayne Ford, Calvin Anderson at the running back position. The receiving crew, Travis Moore, the one-man wrecking crew, Pitts, Danielson, and Cummings at the other wide receiver position. A big offensive line, Crysdale McNeil and the big Joe Childress, Heisman and Rayam at the tackles.
Second down and a yard to go. They'll play action and look over the middle, and the ball over the head of Scott Regimbald, the fullback, coming out of the backfield.
Well, the big guy out of University of Houston, 6'3", 245. This is a big target for Dickinson. He just kind of runs into the coverage there. The ball is thrown where Dickinson expects Regimbald to be. He turns inside, gets contact with the defensive back, and the ball falls harmlessly to the ground. See that linebacking crew? Defensive backfield, Crum, Lewis, McClellan, Carter, and Levy.
3rd and 1, and Dickinson followed the big men, Crysdale, Childress, and McNeil, to push across for the first down, and the initial first down for Calgary.
Well, they have got a huge offensive line, and one of the biggest things that Calgary has is they've got continuity on that line. All of a sudden, though, Rocco Romano, the mainstay, 166 straight games gone. David Heisman getting his 4th start at the left tackle position.
So first down for the high-powered Stampeders offense. Dickinson looks underneath, and there's Moore. He'll be drilled by Carl Kidd. Ball came loose, but after the whistle.
You know, Chris, we talked about the fact that BC is 0-3 against these Calgary Stampeders, but you got to remember the first 2 times this team played, they had a different coach, they had different personnel. Now they have Verado, and he's put in a whole mess of new people in positions, and this kid here, right here, 26, Carl the Crusher Kid, is going to let you know when you come across the middle, he's going to pound you.
Limits the gain to 6. 2nd and 4. Dickinson out of the shotgun, over the middle, and the ball knocked down, and that's Carl Kidd again. The man cut loose by the Minnesota Vikings because he roughed up Randy Moss in a practice.
And I love that. They said he's too rough on their star receiver, but hey, he wants to play, and the only way you play when you're on a practice roster down there is to make an impression. Look at the pressure. The Herminator, 91. He told us, you know what, look for big things from me. I love playing these guys, and now they got the veteran Rocco Romano setting. I'm going to see what David Heisman, number 54, is made of.
Now, Steve Verado, the former Calgary Stampeder head coach back in 1984, said a lot of new people back there, but they are rookies no longer. Tony Martino into punt. Jimmy the Jet is back.
Hands off
for BC. And it's Cunningham from his 19. Gets 1 block, but Aldi Henry right there to make the stop. Henry at the start of the year said, I'm going to lead the league in special team tackles, and that's exactly what he did.
Absolutely. I mean, he knows his role in this team, and he's a fireball. He's going to go down there and do what he has to do, and he makes his presence felt on special teams. As you say, leads the league with 26 special team tackles, gets it done again right here.
Aldi Henry, a Montreal native, trying to help his team face the Montreal Alouettes in the 2000 Grey Cup. Our congratulations go out to Charlie Tapp and company, surviving an early scare and prevailing today in the Eastern Final. David Allen goes to work. There's Jimmy Oliver, and if Oliver gets loose, he is dangerous, but Marvin Coleman hung on for the tackle.
Now, you got to love the story. Jimmy Oliver, they brought him in late. Only played 1 game, the October 22nd game against Calgary. But in that game, 5 catches for 136 yards and a touchdown, game-breaking speed. We talk a lot about Alfred Action Jackson on the other side. They have a legitimate 1-2 threat.
Chris, he's the fastest man on the field today, without question. timed at 4-1-3-5 in the Dallas Cowboys camp. Got 6 there, 2nd and 4. Allen swinging it out, looking for Sean Millington. Incomplete.
Just a little swing pass, trying to get the hands into the Diesel. Right there, you want to get him involved. I mean, you want to get Millington. This is a guy right now that breaks tackles, loves the open field, would rather run over you than around you, but he's got to touch the ball. The first time these two teams met, Sean Millington only carried the ball once. You're not going to win football games if you don't get your big boys involved.
And that's what Steve Barato said. Calgary did not stop our running game. We stopped it. And very early in this game, the Lions have not done much to get that running attack established.
Oh, it's almost like they're coming out, Chris, and trying to establish the pass first.
Marvin Coleman is the deep man as Pasaglia stands at his own 12. Coleman has returned 1 for a touchdown against BC this year. Up to the 44. That's a 51-yard punt by Pasaglia and a 12-yard return. They're revved up in the Grey Cup City. Wally Buono says there's no more pressure on his team than any other year. Even if the Grey Cup is here in Calgary, Steve Barato winning his first ever playoff game as a head coach last week. And the Stampeders have the football at their own 44-yard line. 5.5 minutes into the Western Final. 1-0 Lions. Dickinson back to pass, and Alan Pitts had it tipped away. It's picked off by Mike Crum. On the ricochet, Crum with the interception, and he's nailed at the 46-yard line.
Well, Chris, it's always a game of big plays and who makes more of them. As you say, the tip drill comes into play here. Ball gets up, deflected. Mike Crum comes up with the interception, and the first big break of the ball game going to BC Lions' way.
First playoff interception thrown by Dave Dickinson. And there's the tip off the fingertips of Central McClellan into the hands of the safety, Mike Crum.
Just a nice job of seeing that, keeping concentration, looking the ball into your hands, and getting up and get whatever yards you can after you pick it off.
Native of Kelowna impressed Steve Barato. He's been the safety since Barato took over. First down. A bootleg by Allen. Now you look back and dump it off, no one home. He was looking for Millington, who was double covered by the outside linebackers, both Johnson and Hall.
Well, what a nice job of reading that. The play action pass, getting outside. The last person you want to throw it to is your outlet pass. Here's another look at the interception. See, off Pitt's hands, right into Mike Crum. He picks it up, takes whatever he can, looks for some blocking, tries to get to the outside. Nice return after the interception. As a result, BC enjoys great field position.
2nd and 10. Everybody out for Allen. As a receiver, Donnie Blair's got the catch. Blair down at the 35, and that will be a first down. Marvin Coleman with the tackle.
Donnie Blair coming back to help out the quarterback. After the receivers run their routes, they realize the ball's not coming. You can see that Damon Allen's got to scramble a little bit, come back into the pitcher, coming back into the quarterback's throwing lane. Nice job of 20, Don Blair, to come back in there and make a nice catch.
Allen, who was a former pitching prospect with that ability to drop down, throw sidearm. Saw that a couple of times last week. Donnie Blair, the Calgary native, give BC a fresh set of downs. Here's Millington pounding it on the ground.
Allen hands to number 25, Sean Millington.
Down to the 31, Jacobs, Traversy, converging on the big running back.
And that's what you want to do. Get your big hoggies involved in the game right now. You know, they've been throwing the ball a lot right now. They've been in the pass set. You can see right there. Steve Harden, 61, just getting on his man, pushing him back. Millington picks you up 4 to 5 yards every time he touches the ball. I mean, here's a guy that's got a 6.5 average. That's not bad every time he touched the rock.
Millington got 4 that time. 2nd and 6. Allen straight back. Over the middle, and Oliver unable to hang on. That would have been a first down.
Number 85, the intended target.
And you see Damon Allen kind of hesitate before he throws the ball to Oliver, because he had an opportunity, Chris, to take off with that football. As that opened up, he saw the lane open up, he took a step up. The pressure comes. He's going to take a step. Now, he almost wants to run with that football. At the last second, he sees 85 Oliver, throws it to him. Oliver can't come up with the catch and kills the drive. And Big Louie comes on to finish it off with a field goal attempt.
Nussmeier's the holder, and they'll set it up at the 37. Louie with 2 for 3 last week, and he's on target again. Hit 40 of 44, and this is 25th year in the league. He's provided the points so far, and the Lions have the early edge. Could we order this weather for next Sunday? It is magnificent. Here's what we're looking for today.
Well, come on. If I'm BC, killer instinct. We got a 4-0 lead. I know that's not a lot of points, but when they start putting points on the board, kill it. Keep them going. On defense, you got to take chances. Don't let Dickinson get in that comfort zone. And on, Saskatchewan, you got to do it. Calgary, you got to go after him, after him. And on defense, baby, and I know my game knows. Focus on the 3 Ds. You got to go after Damon. You got to go after Drummond. You got to go after Millington. And I told you about offense before. You got to keep calling Kelvin Anderson's number. Make him a factor in this football game because he can do great things for you.
Chris, right now, clearly the momentum with BC. You saw Anthony Pryor field that ball on the far sideline and step out. And Calgary backed up at their own 15 to start this drive after a rare interception by Dickinson on their last possession.
First and 10, Calgary at the 15.
Maybe he will go to Kelvin Anderson here and try and get Calgary's running game going. That's what they do. And Anderson, a yard or 2, but into the teeth of a revved up Lion defense.
Well, as you say, Chris, Dickinson, he's not a guy to be fearful of throwing the ball up in the air. He only threw 1 interception prior to these BC Lions. The only guy that had an interception coming into this game was Bo Lewis. I mean, he's going to put it in the air. He's got great receivers, but yes, you got to get Anderson involved. You got to have a balanced attack at this time of year.
They give Anderson 2, 2nd and 8. Herman Smith may have jumped the gun. There's Alan Pitts. He has the catch, lunges for the first down, pending
Alan Pitts with
the penalty marker. Alan Pitts, the leading receiver in the history of the Canadian Football League, and that is his 76th catch.
Well, obviously they're going to decline that. The Herman Smith jumping outside. Dickinson doing a great job of fluctuating the voice count, changing it up. Don't always go on the same snap count. Herman Smith trying to anticipate. He's at the bottom right here. He's just going to jump. He figures it's always on 1. He's going to go. Nice job of mixing it up by the quarterback.
76 catch for Pitts in the playoffs. That ties Darren Flutie for the all-time lead. And Anderson off the right side gets to the 35 and has 5. Marvin Thomas brought him down.
Well, anytime you got 335-pound Big Chill and obviously 330, and that's what you're just listing him at. I think they're a little bigger than that. Childress and Ram on that right side. You got to run the ball behind these big boys right now. They block out the sun. They're going to create openings for a little scat back like Anderson.
2nd down, 6 to go. Dickinson out of the gun, steps up, fires, and has a completion over the 50-yard line. Ball popped loose, and now they're saying incomplete, and Alan Pitts is going to argue the call. Derek Lewis, Bo Lewis, jarred it loose.
Well, it's a big break. Obviously, Alan Pitts does not like the call. He walks off. He likes the fact, Chris, though, that they're going to him. He's being quiet. Travis Moore has kind of stepped up and being the go-to guy. You can see the ball right there. He's down now. There the ball pops out. Now he's thinking that the ground caused the ball to come out. Therefore, it should be a completed pass. And I think, looking at that replay, Chris, he might have an argument.
There's Mike Fletcher back. And Tony Martino kicking into a slight breeze into this first quarter. A couple stutter steps before he got it away. And gets a Stampeder bounce. Fletcher back, and they'll get a flag on the no yards as he is buried back at the 22-yard line.
However,
but there is a penalty marker on the play.
Closed captioning of this program is brought to you by Tim Hortons, where lunch is a home-style soup and sandwich combo. Come home for lunch at Tim Hortons.
51-yard punt by Tony Martino, and Ibrahim Tunkara was in the no yards restraining area, and he gets called, so the ball will now be placed at the BC 30-yard line. Lions with the early lead, as the visitors did in Montreal.
Well, that's why you have 4 quarters. This is a 60-minute game, and anything can happen right now. And I mean, a lot of times it's just a jitters. Remember, Calgary hasn't played for a week.
They flood that right side. Blair takes the pass, drops the ball, Stamps are on it. Eddie Davis stripped it loose, and Jason Clement comes up with it.
Well, just a case of Donnie Blair trying to make something happen, trying to bust a tackle. He's just going to keep fighting. See, as he reads it, but a great job of stripping the football. He's trying to get back inside, find some blocking. As you say, the ball is stripped. Jason Clement coming up with the fumble, but nice job of stripping it right there. All he is he's looking up the field. He's trying to find some blocking, trying to turn it up, pick up some more yardage, but another turnover, and this time in favor of the Calgary Stampeders.
Deepest penetration by the Stamps in the opening quarter. Dickinson had to hurry that and floats it to the sidelines.
Finds the sidelines.
Just wisely threw that one away.
Well, I mean, they bring both linebackers on this play, Chris. They bring Fletcher and Kidd coming in. They're not going to sit pat. They're not going to play safe. If you're going to play safe, Dickinson's going to kill you. You got to be aggressive. You got to be in his face. They came after him on that play, forced him to throw the ball early. That's the way you disrupt the quarterback's rhythm.
Calgary interception led to 3 points for BC. Now the Stamps trying to make the Lions pay for that fumble. 2nd and 10. Looking deep, looking for Bo Richter in the end zone. No, he was out. And Bo Richter shows his frustration. He may have hurt that ankle again. Bo Richter injured his ankle a couple of weeks ago in Hamilton. He is wearing an ankle brace, and he is in some difficulty.
Well, Chris, he definitely is. I mean, he does everything to try and come up with this catch. Makes the catch. Now, he tries to keep his feet in bounds, see him? But as he goes out of bounds, the defender rolls over the ankle, Schnell, and as a result, he gets up. And remember, he's not 100% right now. We see him walking off the field. This is another guy that's becoming a star in this league right now. A big, tall, Alan Pitts-type receiver.
So Calgary will attempt a 37-yarder off the foot of Mark McLaughlin, who misses it to the left. McLaughlin has struggled in recent weeks, and the Jet will dance around in the end zone and finally be forced out. So a point for the Stamps. McLaughlin missed 9 of his last 25 and misses his first in the postseason. Mark Bo Richter just gave athletic therapist Pat Clayton a nod as if maybe it's not as bad as he first thought.
Well, you can see right there, he tries to stay in bounds. Kelly Schnell rolls on the ankle, but looks like it'll be okay.
4-1, Lions have the lead. Here's Allen. His first scramble, and he drops it. And the Lions get back on it.
The Lions get back on it, but AJ, the hitman, boy, does he get in there right there. And he talks about his theory of force momentum equals punishment. I mean, he's all over this play, and he says, you know what? I don't like the way that Edmonton played these guys. You got to be up in their face. You got to come after them. You got to attack them, and you got to punish them. Well, AJ, he comes in there, and he puts the helmet right on the football. Chris, very lucky BC came up with it again.
Still haunted by the loss in '93 that cost him a home game in the Grey Cup. Yesterday, said his stomach was churning just by the mention of that game. 2nd down, blitz, pass is complete, and the Jet just tripped up at the 45-yard line, where he may still be running. Jack Kellogg with perhaps a touchdown-saving tackle.
And a nice job, the veteran, Damon Allen, seeing it, pressure coming, getting rid of the football just at the last second before Shante Peoples lays him to the turf, puts it there. You can see right there, Cunningham, the Jet, gets it, takes it up. But look at the pressure, little stunt, number 56 coming over, laying the helmet right in the midsection, driving him down. Damon can only go by the crowd noise to see if that was a completed pass.
Pickup of 12 for the Jet, who has won a Grey Cup with the Toronto Argonauts. Now it's Sean Millington spilling off the first contact and lunging across midfield close to a first down. Kevin Johnson finally brings him to the turf.
And what is his strength? I mean, he is between the tackles, one of the toughest runners to bring back. You know, you got Mike Pringle. You got Sean Millington. Very similar styles, except for the fact that one thing. Millington is bigger, and he punishes people when he goes over them. Not to say that Pringle doesn't, but he can break away from people. And I tell you what, once he's the kind of guy, much like Pringle, who needs to touch the ball more, Chris, to get stronger in the game.
2nd and a yard. Back to Millington. Look at that contact. A.J. fills the hole.
Well, it was a Johnson, boys. Kevin and Londra meeting him in the backfield, and that's what they said. We're not going to sit back and keep everything in front of us. We're going to go meet them at the line of scrimmage, and boy, did they do a great job of meeting that there. Just at the line of scrimmage, bam! There he is, 51. There's number 2, his partner in crime, Kevin Johnson.
Well, he was revved up, the all-star middle linebacker in the West. One of the great veterans in this game, 12 years. And no one is a more punishing tackler than Alondra Johnson, who started his career in BC. In fact, in his rookie year, he was the Lions nominee as their top defensive player.
And you know, from that replay, you see Damon Allen almost catch his helmet on the handoff, almost like he's too close to Millington when he's given that football. So there might have been just a little bit of timing problem on that play.
3rd and 1. And how about Johnson? He lifted Millington up off the ground and spiked him down, 230 pounds. See the time remaining, and an opening quarter dominated by the visitors. Allen to sneak forward.
Number 9,
and behind Jamie Terrace, Steve Harden, and the House of Pain, Dan Payne, they'll get the first.
Well, I like that call. I don't like when they hand it off to the back because he's away from the line of scrimmage. You're the closest guy to that line of scrimmage. Just tuck your head down, get behind the big bodies, pick up the first down, always keep your leg driving. I mean, it's really important right now, as you say, Chris. BC's really controlling the clock and the game as it is right now.
So this will be the final play of the opening quarter.
10 BC at the Calgary 53.
Unless there's a penalty marker. At the Stampeder 53. Fake to Drummond. Allen, that little shovel toss. And Robert Drummond has the catch near a first down.
Shovel pass for
he
Robert
led the
Drummond,
Lions in receptions with 66, and that was a play we saw last week go for a touchdown.
Well, it's just a great job of realizing you have more than one way to get the first down. And hey, if he doesn't take it, all he does is toss it to the old reliable Robert Drummond. He does the rest.
Controversial gene research has led scientists to unlock the secrets of DNA. What they discovered is something many of us have suspected all along. This is the mother of all trucks. Dodge Ram. Now, with 5-star protection. It's peace of mind that comes with all 2001 Dodge Rams.
Здорово здесь. Я же говорила, будет хорошо.
Си, нам всем. Да. Смотри, это наш хоккеист, Пушков.
Turning people into Canadians all over the world.
Remember we beat Russians 72?
It's a Canadian thing in 151 countries.
Тоже. Мы русские.
Canadian Club.
The CFL on CBC. The road to the Grey Cup. Brought to you by your local Dodge retailers.
BC Lions have lost 6 straight meetings to the Calgary Stampeders, but have the lead after the opening quarter.
And I love this play. I mean, you can see right here, these two guys are going to come up. 51 and Peoples. There's Peoples. There's Johnson. He makes them commit to him. pitches the ball to Robert Drummond. He picks up valuable yardage, and it becomes 2nd and short. And boy, I tell you, you can almost go deep on this because 3rd down, you can gamble on it and pick up. It's less than a yard.
9 yards on that little flip to Drummond.
Almost a free play for the Lions. They were stuffed on 2nd and 1 the last time. They'll go back to Millington, and he'll get it this time.
25 gets the carry
and down to the Calgary
BC
40.
Down.
Well, the big boys up front say, you know what, we love it when he carries it. You can see right there, Jamie Terrace, the center, struggling to get back on his feet. 1st down stats, time of possession obviously in favor of the BC Lions right there. 1 turnover apiece. 1st downs relatively even. Yards passing also in favor of the BC Lions, 55-19. And I can tell you this, Chris, in a game of this magnitude, you're going to see Dickinson start to air the ball out when he gets a chance with his offense again.
Looks like the center, Jamie Terrace, is on the limp a bit as they go to the right side. Millington and Johnson there again.
Well, I remember last year, they just loved this Kevin Johnson. They felt that he was such a great addition to the football club, and he is very similar in style of play to Alondra Johnson, which is a heck of a compliment. But these two guys can flat out fly and flat out tackle. Look at him just reading. C51, he's just skating down the line of scrimmage. Look at him. There he comes. Now, number 2 comes underneath. That's a great job of forcing the back inside where your pursuit can pick him up. Nice job by Kevin Johnson to turn it back inside.
Passing situation.
Millington,
Van Williams comes into the game as an extra DB. Jason Clement also in. Allen out. Action Jackson. And AJ makes the catch, but paid a price.
Well, Action Jackson went up and made a great catch, as you say, Chris. And as he came down, he got hit twice. And he kind of almost fell to the ground. He's kind of getting up a little woozy right now. Nice protection. Great throwing lane right over the middle. Goes up high. And you know what? You got to give him credit. You see Freres is there. You know, Alfred Jackson knows he's going to get hit. There's Clement putting the finishing touches on him. But he goes up knowing I'm going to do what I got to do for my team. If that means taking a shot, I'm going to do it.
19 yards to catch. He had 2 last week in Edmonton, 1 for a touchdown, and the other was a key 1st down in the final minute to ice the game.
Illegal substitution, 13 men in the huddle, BC, still 1st down.
Well, that's one way to try and score some points, put an extra guy on the field, but you're not going to fool these guys out there.
That was called against the Lions twice last week.
It's a matter of knowing where you're supposed to be at every particular point in the football game. Those can turn out to be very costly mistakes.
This has been an impressive drive. 1st and 20. Short drop. He'll go outside. And it's Big Millington. Nailed by Johnson.
All they do, Chris, is they get Donnie Blair to clear the area. They swing out Millington to the flat. They know he's going to get one-on-one coverage with Kevin Johnson. Let's see if he can beat him. This is a nice job of number 2, Kevin Johnson, to stay with him. Millington's by himself. Now it becomes one-on-one. Look at the form tackle. Then he gets help by AJ again. Nice job of playing defense by the Calgary Stampeders.
You know, we talked to Alondra yesterday. He's 35, and he said, you know, I might retire at the end of the year. Get worn down, the body hurts, and then he comes out and he's just flying around. And he's been one of the big stories of this game so far. Allen on a roll, wide open, Cunningham, touchdown!
Jimmy.
Well, Jimmy the Jet, recipient of that touchdown pass from Damon Allen. But I tell you what, Shante Peoples, the defensive end of the Calgary Stampeders, does the unpardonable sin of getting caught inside. You cannot let Damon Allen get to the outside. Watch as he comes. There's 56 falling down. When you allow a man of this athletic ability, Damon Allen, to get to the outside, he has 2 options now. He can run or he can throw. That puts defensive backs in a terrible bind. And Jimmy the Jet's got some speed, gets some separation. Nice throw, nice read, nice catch. Hey, nice touchdown.
26-yarder.
Number 5, Luke.
And in shocking fashion here, The BC Lions have opened up an 11-1 lead. Shades of the Eastern Final. With the visitors, the team with the momentum, taking the early lead.
A door that won't get dings. It's not as important as an engine, or transmission, or safety features like airbags. A door that won't get dings is a relatively small thing. So what does it say when a car company puts so much into something that's so small? It says they already took care of the things that were big.
Shoes. Shoes are something that a woman notices on a man. Some say first, some say second. At Moore's, the shoes that we carry go with the clothes that we carry. For suits, one type. For casual, another. After all, we want you to be able to put your best foot forward. No matter what you may find yourself walking into.
Well made, well priced, well dressed. Moore's. Looking for the ultimate sport utility? Consider the legendary Jeep Grand Cherokee Laredo. After all, why pay for an imitation when you can afford the original? Just $389 a month with over $1,300 in no-charge options. Or choose the Jeep Cherokee Sport. Get another original with over $1,800 in no-charge options for just $27,998. Jeep, there's only one. Now with 5-star protection available on all 2001 Jeep models. Only at your neighborhood Chrysler Dodge Jeep retailer.
Well, there's at least one happy fan at McMahon Stadium after that touchdown catch by a war-painted Jimmy Cunningham.
Take a look at this guy right here, Shante Peebles. His job is to keep contained. He goes inside of Perez. Perez pins him. That allows Damon Allen to get to the outside, find some time. As a result, he finds a wide open Jimmy the Jet Cunningham back in the end zone. Nice touchdown, and you know what, Chris? They moved the ball well on that drive.
Brett Anderson with a short, high kick. Marvin Coleman across his 35-yard line. Well, it was a time-consuming march by the Lions. 6:36 off the clock.
Well, I mean, look at this. 12 plays, 75 yards, 6:36, as you say, off the clock. Your coach is going to love that. Joe Powell is going to just be smiling from ear to ear. But, I mean, this is a great catch. Alfred Jackson go over the middle, sacrificing his body. Then the little toss out to Millington in the flat, one-on-one, picking up what he has to do to keep the first down. And then, of course, Damon Allen breaks the contain, and the end result is a touchdown to Jimmy the Jet Cunningham.
Dave Dickinson's got to get on track, and this one's picked off. Eric Carter with the interception, the second of the game, and he may score. Eric Carter, touchdown.
Number 2, Eric Carter, an interception return touchdown.
Intended for Alan Pitts, into the hands of a Western All-Star, and McMahon Stadium has been silenced.
Steve Barato said something yesterday. He says, you know, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. We have won 3 in a row. We have people who are starting to believe in each other. We're becoming a family in the locker room. You can see it coming right here. I mean, they're just playing them. You know, everybody thinks they're just going to play zone. We're not going to mix it up a little bit on Dickinson. He throws the football. Now look, you see, just right there. What a great break on the football. Just a nice job, Eric Carter, coming off the corner, picking up the football, picking up some blocking. There we go. Get Dickinson, and he waltzes into the end zone. And boy, I tell you what, they are making some big plays, Chris.
A shocker developing. Pisaglia puts it through. 18-1. The BC Lion lead. Are they going to crash the party at Grey Cup time in Calgary again?
See how it could be, baby. Won't you dance with me? I could be your fantasy. When it's time to get down, you can boogie on with me.
One of the rewards of owning a Toyota is parts and service with no surprises or worries. Because let's face it, you got way better stuff to do.
Won't you dance with me?
Where do you find inspiration? Sometimes where you least expect it. with technology that takes you beyond old boundaries to something more inspiring. Like the compact Proline server, with a 1.75-inch profile that fits everywhere, you can have your next big idea anywhere. Welcome to the new IT, inspiration technology from Compaq.
To me, the Colonel is more than a restaurant man. He was a humanitarian. He gave me all this chicken, 12 finger-licking good pieces for just $12.99. I'll tell you, I don't think I could love the old guy anymore.
The Colonel's Dozen is back. 12 succulent pieces of that one and only chicken for just $12.99. And right now, we'll also give you a coupon for a free sandwich, like our Twister.
At KFC, we do chicken right. I always wanted to say that.
Dave Dickinson just spiked his water bottle, showing his frustration. 3 interceptions in the last 14 games, but 2 today.
Well, 2 today, as you say, and boy, what a timely one. He's got all time to throw the football. He looks to Alan Pitts. Number 2, he breaks his coverage. He cheats on the football. We talked a lot yesterday. They said we're going to take some chances on defense. We're not going to give you what you think we're going to give you. And right there, Eric Carter leaves his man and comes to help the halfback and picks off a great interception, takes it all the way back for a touchdown.
That ball is loose, and the Lions may have it. That ball bounced around, and I think Chuck Levy was the last man to touch it. And the Calgary Stampeders are sleepwalking now through this first half.
You know, a sign of a championship team, Chris, is putting every play that happens behind you. You've got all the rest of the game to worry about. Don't sit there and dwell on what we're not doing right. Dwell on what we got to do to get things right. As you say, the kickoff, look at, nobody touches it. It's almost like they're waiting like on a punt. Levy goes, great job. Last one to touch the football. AJ saying he was out of bounds when he touched the football, but hey.
He touched it before that. That's exactly where Anderson kicked the last one.
You gonna be here for another week?
That is just a mental breakdown, and that's not a sign of a championship team. You've got to be right, mentally prepared. Forget about what's happened. Focus on what you got to do for the rest of the game.
Here's Millington, nailed and tossed back. Jeff Traversy trying to regain some Calgary momentum.
Well, it's a big stand right now. Your best scenario is that he misses a field goal, or you sack him and you put him out of field goal range. But the biggest thing right now is you can't put your defense in this kind of spot all the time right now. Too many mistakes right now. And you can understand when you get beat on a play, but mental mistakes, those are the ones you just can't forgive. And when you don't recover, or you let somebody else recover a kickoff without touching that football, that's a mental mistake.
Past the 5-minute mark of the second quarter, 2nd and 10. Allen looking deep, looking for Cunningham, and overthrows the intended receiver.
Overshot by Damon Allen.
Marvin Coleman in coverage.
Damon Allen is going vertically on this football field. He is not satisfied with just going side to side, little dump passes to Drummond. He is trying to stretch his defense. I mean, he's got to step on him. The ball's just overthrown. You can just see he's got separation from Marvin Coleman. Had the ball been on the money, Chris, we might have had another touchdown, another score, and maybe a backbreaker for these Calgary Stampeders.
Louis Pasaglia back in. This will be from 42 yards out.
Will attempt a 42-yard field goal.
Missed a 40-yarder last week, but again, he's missed only 5 times all year. And he's perfect again here. And it's now a 20-point BC lead in the first half of the Western Final.
Tyrell is a member of the War Amps Champ program. He knows there can be dangers in everyone's neighborhood. He lost his leg in a lawnmower accident. Recently, Tyrell visited the Commonwealth Stadium in Edmonton to present the Play Safe Award to the Eskimos. Together, they have a message for kids everywhere.
Spot the danger.
Play safe.
The CFL is proud to support the War Amps Play Safe program.
Touchdown!
Good job.
Play safe.
Stampeders back to work, and they're going to stay on the ground. Kelvin Anderson chews up 8 as he steps out at the BC bench.
Up a gear, gets 8 yards, and knocked out of bounds into the BC
Well,
bench.
you know, we're in a situation, Chris, almost reminiscent of the Eastern Final, where Winnipeg jumped out to an early 13-0 lead. Montreal fought its way back into the game and eventually won the football game. We don't know if that's going to happen here, but you got to have faith because there's a lot of time left.
Talked to Wally Buono just prior to the game, and I said, what a start for Montreal.
Calgary 43.
And he said it's a long game, and now he's in the same position, even deeper than Charlie Tapp was in the first half of that game. 2nd and 2, and Anderson plunging for a first down.
You know, the thing that really happens here, Chris, is Legault makes the play. A team starts to really believe. It's one thing to come into the game and say, you know, we got a chance. But when things start to turn your way, you really start looking around and going, you know what, we can really win this football game, and you take it a step higher. Now, we know what happened in Montreal. They came back and beat a tough Winnipeg team. This is a tough BC Lion team right now.
They have won 3 in a row, 4 of their last 5. And Dickinson desperately needs to put some points on the board, and Anderson across midfield. So 3 straight running plays to the 1,000-yard rusher for the 5th consecutive season. So no panic in their attack. They're going to stay on the ground despite a 20-point deficit.
Listen, running opens up the passing lanes. You got to pull those linebackers in. If you want to open up the back area for your slot backs, your wide receivers, run the ball. Hey, if they're not picking it up and they're not stopping the run, it makes no sense to stop running the ball. When they stop Kelvin Anderson, then put the ball in the air.
Stamps are 7-1-1 this season when they have 100 yards on the ground. 1st and 10, now to the air. Here comes the blitz. Mike Fletcher has Dickinson back inside the 45, but there is a flag on the play.
Well, empty backfield, Chris. No backs there. Everybody split out in a receiver position. Fletcher comes on a linebacker blitz. There's too many guys. He comes free, sacks Dickinson. But as you say, there was a flag thrown in the defensive secondary area, and a lot of times that'll go against the secondary.
Holding BC number 34. First down.
Central McClellan. A big break for the Stampeders. And a 23-yard difference from the loss to that gain. Ball spotted at the Lion 42.
It's another first down.
Clock running, 7.5 minutes remaining in the 2nd quarter. Dickinson trying to dig himself out of a big hole. Anderson, draw play, and a big gain for Kelvin Anderson, close to a first down.
And they're not fooling anybody, Chris. You got big Dwayne Ford in there. They're putting a 2-back system right there. Every time they do that, you know you're running the football. He gets a great lead block. Also, nice job by the big boys up front. I mean, Dandy Andy Anderson, 5th consecutive 1,000-yard rushing season. And this guy can get it done. He makes people miss. He's a dynamite little back.
He was critical of the Stampeders earlier this year for not using him enough. They're going to him now when they need him the most. 2nd and 1. Kelvin Anderson, left side, and another big first down.
Kelvin Anderson, 32.
Well, I want to ask you about the off week. You've been in the playoffs so many times as a first-place team and as a team that had to play a semifinal. It always seems like the team that had the bye week is very sluggish early.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it takes a while to get back in there. You know, one of the things is that's why they like to keep the players around in that off week so you don't forget you're still playing. When you take a week off sometimes, you think the season's over. All of a sudden, you're coming back again. You got to get that mental frame back in.
A glimpse of the offensive coordinator, George Cortez, stamps first down. Dickinson, the out, Bo Richter, who shook off the early ankle problem and has a catch.
This is what happens. You run the ball effectively. You start bringing up the defenders of the BC Lions. As a result, you start creating openings for the receivers to run their routes. It's a nice job of just throwing it out to the flat. Bo Richter running him off. You can see Snell pushing him out of bounds, but not before he picks up 9 yards.
Jason Kroll is the injured BC Lion.
1909, and your independent home hardware and home building center dealers are proud to sponsor.
Stampeders were going to go into their fire offense. They were not going to operate with a huddle, but play has been halted by this injury. Just under 6 minutes to go in the first half, and it has been a shocker at McMahon Stadium, where the visiting BC Lions have a 20-point lead.
Take a count.
always a driver. Pontiac Grand Prix with wide track. $338 a month. Pontiac, built for drivers.
Hi, can you help me?
We sure can.
We?
Tyrone Grant, at your service.
Nadine Cheeky, at your service.
Every day, over 55,000 Canada Post employees deliver over 38 million pieces of mail to more than 12 million addresses at a cost every bit as impressive as our on-time performance.
Thank you.
Barbara Fraser, at your service.
Canada Post.
To me, the Colonel was more than a restaurant man. He was a humanitarian. He gave me all this chicken, 12 finger-licking good pieces for just $12.99. I'll tell you, I don't think I could love the old guy anymore.
The Colonel's dozen is back. 12 succulent pieces of that one and only chicken for just $12.99. And right now, we'll also give you a coupon for a free sandwich, like our Big Crunch.
At KFC, we do chicken right.
I always wanted to say that.
There's the score, 9-yard gain by Bo Richter, so it's 2nd and 1, but this drive has been, for the most part, Kelvin Anderson.
Oh, we told him you got to keep calling this guy's number. I mean, he can get it done. Nice shiver. Keep the hand away, keep defenders away from him. Look, every time he gets the ball, look at him stutter step. Great change of direction. He's going to do it all. Inside, outside, make people miss, get positive yardage every time he touches that football.
You know, yesterday, Dave Dickinson told us, 98, Anderson was his best. They won the Grey Cup. Last year, Anderson had an ankle injury, and they were beaten in the Grey Cup game. So Dickinson felt that Kelvin Anderson was critical to their success today, and they go back to him left side to the 10, and finally wrapped up. There's Roger Wrightson in on the tackle with Kelly Lockbaum, and Wrightson, a former Stampeder, replacing the injured Jason Kralt.
Oh, I love the play. They bring the double tight end here. Not going to fool anybody, going to run the football, get to the outside. You can see them working on Kralt's ankle right there. Dwayne Ford leading around big. Fred Childress, number 68, pancaking the man right there, allowing Anderson to get to the outside and drag down. But again, Chris, not before a nice game.
So the ball is on the 9-yard line, 1st and goal for the Calgary Stampeders in desperate need of a major score. 4 receivers right side. Dickinson can't find anybody, and he's taken down. The Lions front converging on the Calgary quarterback, and Herman Smith and Noah Cantor will share the sack.
Well, they'll share the sack, but that's a coverage sack, Chris. The defenders, the secondary and linebackers that dropped did a great job of taking away any potential receivers. You see him pumping. He's looking to the right. He wants to throw the football over there. He can't find the guy. By the time he pulls it down and decides to try and get anything running, he's tackled down and brought down by Smith and Kantner.
So it's 2nd and goal now from the 13. 4 receivers right side. Dickinson can't find anybody again. Down he goes. Ball came loose. And the big chill gets on it. Herman Smith.
Well, David Heisman, the left tackle, number 54, washes Herman Smith all the way around the pocket. But your offensive line coach will always tell you, you got to stay with them, stay with them, stay with them till you hear the whistle. Why? I'm going to tell you why. Watch this replay. He's going to watch him. He pulls down. Now there's 91. He's keeping working. As he comes around, he sacks Dickinson. The ball comes loose, pops around in there. And again, another lucky break. And what do you mean lucky break? The fact that Calgary came up with that ball.
Boy, that was in and then out of the hands of Marvin Thomas. And Calgary will have to settle for a 23-yard field goal attempt. And this time McLaughlin is good.
23-yard field goal.
3:53 remaining first half. Heisman's on the limp. He's the replacement for the veteran Rocco Romano, out for the rest of the year with the Roadrunner.
And Chris, they can ill afford to lose him because the only backup they have is, you know, Jeff Pilon, the rookie out of Syracuse, and he hasn't got a whole lot of game action. I mean, he's another big kid, but they got to have Heisman in there right now. They feel that it's his first, you know, it's his 4th game playing right now. He's getting better with playing time. That's how you get better in this game, by game action, but they can ill afford to lose him. But I got a question. Where's Travis Moore? I mean, here's the guy that has single-handedly broke the backs of the BC Lions, and
have the Lions surprise them with coverage today. It was suggested to me we'd see a lot of zone from the Lions from the Calgary side. Then you told me BC was going to cross them up. Little flea flicker, back to Allen, looking deep. Downfield, incomplete.
David Allen.
Little razzle-dazzle did not fool the Calgary defense. It looked like the intended receiver was Sean Graham.
Well, Sean Graham was the intended receiver, but as you say, did not fool the defense. Frères, Davis, Kellogg, all the vicinity of that ball. Just a little toss back from Drummond. He throws it out. I believe the receiver, Sean Graham, is going to try to come back into the middle of your pitcher to catch that football, but he's walled off effectively by Eddie Davis.
2nd and 10 for the BC Lions. Flag down, play stopped.
And a marker.
Somebody moved prematurely on the Lions.
Procedure, BC number 62, still 2nd down.
Chris Perez, the all-star left tackle.
One of the top tackles in the league. Has not missed a game in 5 years. Consistently gets it done. Regarded as one of the better technique blocking tackles.
So it's 2nd and 15. Allen has Donnie Blair and he can't hang on. Would have been a 1st down. Pass delivered just behind the Calgary native.
Well, you got to have those catches, Chris. I mean, he had the reach behind to catch it, but if we talked about having the killer instinct, you got to keep catching those balls if you want to develop that.
How would you like to curl up with a nice, thick instruction manual about water softeners? Me either. Life is just a little too short. That's why Culligan created the worry-free water program. Here's how it works. They do all the work, you don't. All you do is call Culligan, and the Culligan man takes it from there. Hey, Culligan man. So don't just order a water softener. Order a Culligan man. Call Culligan, and let somebody else worry about your water.
Check out all our limited-time specials. Call your local Culligan man today.
To me, the Colonel is more than a restaurant man. He was a humanitarian. He gave me all this chicken, 12 finger-licking good pieces for just $12.99. I'll tell you, I don't think I could love the old guy anymore.
The Colonel's dozen is back. 12 succulent pieces of that one and only chicken for just $12.99. And right now, we'll also give you a coupon for a free sandwich, like our zinger.
At KFC, we do chicken right.
I always wanted to say that.
The CFL on CBC. The road to the Grey Cup. Brought to you by KFC. At KFC, we do chicken right.
Roaring back to beat Winnipeg.
Back at McMahon Stadium, the Western Final, the BC Lions lead 21-4. Well, the injury to Jason Krall to the BC Lions might be a little more serious than first anticipated. He went over on that right ankle. As the training staff said, he smashed the right ankle. Now they've got the tape off, the shoe off, and he won't be back in until at least the second half, guys.
Louis in trouble, ditched it to Drummond, and a big play on special teams for the Stampeders, who turn it over on downs inside the BC 30.
Well, that's why these guys always are at the top of the class. They make plays. Their offense was struggling. They had a good drive last time. Their defense is keeping them in the football game. Special teams stands out right here. And who do you think it is? 76, Joe Fleming, the man that does everything on defense. Nice job on the special teams punt block. He's going to come right in the pitch. There it is, 76. Forces him to bring it down. He tries a little pitch pass to Drummond, and Jason Clement wraps him up. Big turnover.
The old college quarterback had the presence of mind to find Drummond, but it wasn't enough. Back to Kelvin Anderson.
Calvin Anderson, 32 on the left side again.
28-yard line. Benefield on the tackle. And a remarkable display of patience by the Stampeders down in this game, but sticking to the ground attack.
Now they give it to hand it off. Now when Dickinson comes to the outside, nobody follows Dickinson. So if I'm watching this right now, I'm sending a play into Dave Dickinson. One of these times you know he's going to do the play action and roll out to the side, take off or throw it, and bust that defense.
2nd and 6. Trying to find an open man, looking for more. Touchdown! Dave Dickinson shaken up after finally punching it in.
Oh, and he is looking. It looks like the knee, Chris, and remember he missed 2 games this year with a knee injury. He's grabbing that left knee right now, holding it. I mean, what a warrior. Hangs in right there, and you can see that Herman Smith rolls on it and buckles the knee. The foot is already planted. A lot of times that's stretching the ligaments on that knee. But what a great catch. Look at the concentration by 83 Travis Moore. We just talked about him, Chris. Where was he? Well, there he is. And I mean, that's his 6th touchdown against these BC Lions. Oh, yeah.
The excitement tempered by this. Pat Clayton looking.
This Stampeder touchdown brought to you by the Keg. And if you are seated in section
Mike Colley has to limber up.
Well, Mike Colley's only played in 2 games, so I mean, this is a big thing. And you see Herman Smith just rolls into him. Didn't look intentional, looked like he was getting thrown down by the lineman, but as he rolls into that knee or into that leg, that ankle is planted. Something's got to give, and on that play, it looked like the knee did not give.
That's a good sign. But the brace on the right knee. This time it was the other knee.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the brace on the right knee, Chris, you know, obviously a helper from the 2 games he did miss when he had that knee injured.
Number 83, Travis Moore.
We can only hope that he'll walk this off and be back. Seems to be walking off on his own, although rather gingerly.
2:10 remaining in this first half. Dickinson with the touchdown pass. And now McLaughlin for the point after it. Calgary's within 10. What a catch by Travis Moore, who had 15 touchdown grabs during the regular season, tying for the league lead.
As you say, albeit the celebration of the touchdown by that man, Travis Moore, the concern on the health of Dave Dickinson. He just sits in there, nice throwing lane, nice adjustment of the ball. Like Travis Moore comes down, gets into the end zone.
And this game has been all about capitalizing on the other team's mistakes, the interceptions, that missed botched kickoff by Calgary, and of course, this time the Stampeders scoring after the misplayed punt and a near block by the Stampeders on the Bisaglia punt attempt.
Well, I think you hit it on the head, Chris, when you said, head coach Wally Buono said, you know, it's a long game. Anything can happen. We've got to dig ourselves out of a hole. Well, they've just taken the first step to do that.
But the chances of the host team going through to the Grey Cup really may be decided by the status of number 15 on the bench. Different complexion to this game, however, as the Stampeders get within 10. Here's Cunningham from his 11th. And the Jet is hit at the 26-yard line by Pryor.
Pryor, number 30.
Let's get an update on Dave Dickinson from Scott Russell.
Yeah, there's a lot of trepidation down here at the Calgary Stampeder bench regarding the condition of Dave Dickinson. It is the right knee, and right now the training staff of the Stampeders, they're going to wrap that knee, they're going to ice it, and then they're going to see what happens during halftime for Dave. Right now, no word on whether or not he'll be back quickly, guys.
Well, we can see the ice pack has been placed on the knee. Dickinson now on his feet. Looks like he's going to walk it off to the room. So Mike Colley will be in charge of any further offense in this first half. And again, play stopped as somebody in that line for the Lions moved too quickly.
Well, it'll be the second time if it is a procedure call, and it definitely is.
The Lions.
Perez with the earlier procedure call.
Procedure, BC number 62, still first down.
And it is Perez again.
Well, you can see him going to the locker room. I think that's a smart call right now. You're not going to take a chance, Chris, of putting him in the game till you know the full extent of the injury. You know, they're going to put the ice on there and try and bring down any swelling that might be there so they can get a better look at it.
First and 15. Allen with time. And an open man and a great catch by Jimmy Oliver. Stretching up for that one.
Well, Jimmy Oliver just taking Anthony Pryor and bringing him back to the inside. Taking him deep and bringing him back in, and a nice throw. Look at that, going high to catch that football. They really like this kid out in BC. I tell you what, he is quickly becoming the go-to guy. A big play receiver in that short field.
24 yards for Jimmy Oliver. 6 games he played, 4 100-yard games. Now a little toss to Oliver again.
Number 85,
and he's matched up against Anthony Pryor. We talked about him being in his first CFL playoff game, and Oliver having some success as we rejoin Scott.
Well, Chris, coming up on the halftime show, we'll have an East report. The Montreal Alouettes are going to the Grey Cup with a victory over Winnipeg. Mike Pinball Clemens will join me in this nice warm booth here at McMahon Stadium. And also, Walby's Pro Tips is on hand as we continue with the Western Final, guys.
Lions trying to add to their lead late in the first half. Here is Alfred Jackson, smothered by Kellogg. Close to another first down. Well, he'll be short of it at the 38-yard line.
And that's a nice job of adjusting the receivers. You know, Alfred Jackson, who normally is a wideout, will come back and also play slot back. Lines up inside. As a result, he can just go over the middle, find the hole in the zone coverage, make the catch, get what he can. As a result, he picks up nice yardage, makes it second and short.
Second and a yard to go. You talked about killer instinct, and this is a time for the Lions now to answer back in the late stages of the first half and expand their lead. Millington, he's got the first down to the Calgary 35.
Chris, the main reason you talk about killer instinct is last week in the playoff game, had the lead against Edmonton. Big lead. They allowed the Eskimos to come back in the fourth quarter and almost snatch victory. Had it not been for that last-second field goal missed by Sean Fleming, who knows who would be here playing the final today. I think if you're a team right now and you're moving the ball as effectively as you are, keep what's working. Don't play conservative. I know we talked about being aggressive on defense, but I also believe it's just as important to play aggressive on offense.
And you know that Darryl Hall and company are thinking, turn the ball over here. Allen throwing, Jackson nailed. Marvin Coleman stepped up to make the stop. They'll mark it at the 30 and a gain of 5.
Nice job of just taking it in, taking it to the outside. But it all stops, you know, it all starts here with the big boys up front. Look at this line, pick up everybody. You can see Robert Drummond, maximum protection, number 29, is going to pick up anything that comes from the outside. That allows Damon Allen the time to find a receiver. He puts it on the money. Marvin Coleman wrapping him up, but as you say, not before a nice 5-yard gain.
Second and 5, under a minute to go. First down. Forced there by Jack Kellogg. The Lions march continues.
You know, we talked about what Damon was doing earlier. He was stretching this defense. He was going deep vertically. Now he's just picking them apart. He's taking whatever the Calgary defense gives him. That is the short stuff right now. He's just going to the flats. Little over the middle stuff to Alfred Jackson, stuff to Oliver. Now he's hitting Jimmy the Jet in the outside. Moving the ball methodically.
7th play of the drive. The clock stopped with 43 seconds to go. You saw Adam Rita and Joe Pow enjoying this. Here's Donnie Blair inside, and He is stopped at the 8-yard line. LaFan Williams, the nickelback, with the tackle. But this is vintage Damon Allen.
Well, vintage Damon Allen, but also just after Calgary gets a touchdown, what better way than to put it back in their face by marching the football down the field and score a touchdown of your own, especially with only 30 seconds going into the half.
The field general of the Calgary defense. Alondra Johnson trying to dig in his heels. Allen into the end zone, incomplete. Behind Oliver.
But again, what a read by Damon Allen. Recognizing the blitz, knowing they're going to bring some people. Tries to get Oliver. Oliver working against Pryor. Just takes it inside to the opening on the field. Allen has to get rid of the football early. Throws it a little bit behind Oliver, who almost comes up with a sensational touchdown grab.
Allen has been calling most of his own plays in the last month or so, but in these situations, there can and usually is input from the bench. 2nd and goal from the 7. 10th play of the drive. Rashad incomplete. Oliver was open near the goal line, but Daryl Hall was closing fast on the quarterback.
Daryl Hall, big play by number 4 to come up and not allow Damon Allen to look around and find the receiver. Originally, see, that man's covered. The man going across, he's got a guy wide open. If it's not for the pressure, Daryl Hall, that's an easy throw, Chris, and a touchdown to Oliver.
One of the great veterans in his 7th year with Calgary. 3 years with the Denver Broncos. Hall making the defensive play, and now it's Louis Bisaglia. And he adds to the BC lead, a 13-point advantage now, with a dozen seconds remaining in the first half.
Well, I mean, that is an impressive drive, Chris, to take it all the way down, to push it back in their face right now, move the ball methodically. They're not really running the ball. That's pretty much all pass. They're throwing it around, but what Damon Allen is doing, he's getting great reads. That all starts with the big hoggies up front, giving him the time. But, I mean, he is spreading the ball around. He's throwing it to Jackson. He's throwing it to Cunningham. He's throwing it to Oliver. He's all over the place right now. And right now, he's got this Calgary defense somewhat confused.
And here is Mike Tolley, who threw 21 times this year, completed 8, 1 touchdown, 137 yards. Most of that was in the final game of the regular season against Hamilton, when Dave Dickinson played the first series, and that was it. Will it be Colley in the second half? That's the big question here. Colley's going to throw here. Gutsy play and an incompletion. 7 seconds left, so
well, the ball was
putting it in the air.
The ball was thrown great, Chris. I mean, he had the right guy, but nice job by Bo Lewis, number 17, to come in and break that play up. Alan Pitts looking for an interference call, but it was just good defense by number 17, Bo Lewis.
I'm a little surprised, though. Here's a guy coming off the bench cold, and Bo Lewis nearly got his hands on the football. 7 seconds to go. Like an offside Calgary. Colley puts it in the air, and Pitts has the catch. With the BC 50, but this should be coming back.
Penalty flag down.
Like the receiver was astride over the line, and the ball was snapped.
And again, remember, when you have a new quarterback, you have a new cadence. The receivers try and time that up as they hit the line of scrimmage.
Offside, Calgary number 18, repeat second down.
Obviously, the recipient of that catch, Alan Pitts, jumping the gun a little bit, but you know, it's just a different cadence. You have to get used to it, change the timing. Some guys may have a little pause before it when they go hut, hut. Some guys a little longer. As a result, Alan Pitts jumps, and that play is negated. But I like where he's going. You can see he wants to get Alan Pitts involved in this offense, and he had him wide open on that play.
2nd and 15 at the Calgary 30.
So this will be the final play, and now they'll be content to put a knee down. The Stampeders did not win a game this year when trailing at the half.
As the first half comes
they'll have to come from behind against the BC Lions. Steve Barato's team working on all cylinders right now and have a 13-point advantage after 30 minutes of football in the Western Final.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, he's got to go in there and make the proper adjustments. They got some great coaches, though. They know what they got to do. They know there's still 30 minutes, Chris. Come out. The big thing will be, does he take the ball? Remember, he deferred the toss.
Let's talk to the leading coach right now. Steve Barato has joined us. Steve, just about everything went your way in that first half.
Well, our guys are playing very hard, and we're making a lot of big plays, both on offense and defense, and on the special teams. So, aside from the block punt, everything has really gone our way, and we played hard. We missed a couple things that I thought we could have had, and I expected us to get a touchdown there, and Damon had the ball come out of his hand funny there, but we need to play another 30 minutes, just like that 30 minutes.
Steve, thanks for this, and good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Steve Barato and his BC Lions with the upper hand at halftime in the 2000 Western Final.
They've given us much better seats, honey.
Great.
A leather-appointed interior and power front seats. Steering wheel mounted audio controls. A 6-disc in-dash CD changer. And highly responsive handling. The 2001 Accord. You'll love how it performs.
Yes, that's so true, Mr. Chandler. However, your portfolio seems to be doing very well. Let's look at your foreign content. Right, these markets were down earlier this year, but our fund managers think now's a good time to buy funds targeting this region. Absolutely, and this fund does cover the entire region. Great, I've rebalanced your portfolio. Thanks for calling.
I think it's time to leave.
Altamira, focused on making you money. Maybe a little too focused.
So, what kind of shape's your portfolio in?
As members of CHAMP, we've had a close bond with the war amputees ever since we were kids.
We've learned about Canada's military heritage
from those who are actually there.
Now we can pass on their message through presentations, videos, and our own website.
Operation Legacy isn't just about remembering.
It's commemoration with a message.
That message? Never again.
It was our war. It is their legacy.
It's here. Any size pizza. Any 3 toppings. Only $9.99. Monster hungry? Get an extra large for $1 more.
Right now, order any size pizza with any 3 toppings and free dipping sauce, and it's only $9.99. Add $1 and you've got an extra large. So what are you waiting for? Pick up the phone.
Oh, pizza, hey, hey, hey.
Back at McMahon Stadium in Calgary, Alberta, 24-11 for the BC Lions over the Stampeders. Dave Dickinson has injured his left knee, and his status for the second half is still questionable. The Stampeders quarterback. The Montreal Alouettes beat the Winnipeg Blue Bombers in the East Final by 11 points at Molson Stadium in Montreal. The Als finally going to the Grey Cup, and with a report, here is Steve Armitage.
The Winnipeg Blue Bombers came into the Eastern Final as the underdogs, but they certainly didn't play like underdogs in the first quarter. Jones to Milt Stegall, it covers 6 yards, and the Bombers are on top 7-0. But the Alouettes came back. Jock Climby, he's been in the league 11 years and really wanted to get to his first Grey Cup. Mike Pringle got rolling with this touchdown, 16 carries, 91 yards. But if you're looking for the player of the game, it might be this man, Stefan Reed. 2 interceptions, a terrific Eastern Final for Stefan Reed. The defensive player of the game, no question about that, Stefan Reed of the Alouettes. You've had a few minutes now to digest what the Als have just done. Give me some thoughts.
Well, it's an amazing moment for me personally and for the team. You know, it's the monkey off our back. It's the biggest win that the organization has had in years and years. And, you know, we still got business to attend to in Calgary, but for the moment, this is as good as it gets.
Stefan, explain to me why it took this team so long to get rolling.
I don't know, you know, we've had a monkey on our back, like I said, in the last few games or last few seasons, and you know, we've been in big games like this and came out slow. I don't know if it's the MO of our team or what, but I think that the key was due to the past and experience, a lot of the guys, we kept our composure and came back and fought our way back, which is, you know, definitely it tested the meld of this team, and it shows that we're a Grey Cup contender.
Stefan, good luck in the Grey Cup.
Thank you. I'd like to say hello to my daughter Savannah back home. I love you, sweetie. And to Ryan Schweitzer, get better, brother.
Stefan Reed, the defensive player of the game in the Als victory over the Bombers.
Thanks, Steve. 24-11 BC here. A surprise candidate in the upcoming federal election will return to McMahon Stadium in Calgary, Alberta, the Grey Cup City, the West Final, in just a moment.
Sure, lots of cough and cold remedies promise to save you money and relieve your throat and runny nose. But only one brand offers the combined savings and relief that our Certified brand does. Certified brand cough and cold products. If you compare, you save.
Mr. Sub.
Whatever you crave,
We got your hunger covered.
there's always something good going down at Mr. Sub. There's always something good.
Mr. Sub.
There's always something good.
Mr. Sub.
There's always something good going down at Mr. Sub.
One unscheduled stop. Half a kilometer for help. 3,000 tons of trouble. No time to spare. Too late. Equals one unknown IOU. For all you do, this bud's for you.
Sure, lots of cough and cold remedies promise to save you money and relieve your throat and runny nose. But only one brand offers the combined savings and relief that our Certified brand does. Certified brand cough and cold products. If you compare, you save.
Meet the all-new Aztec. Meet Sam and Kate. They're about to
blaze a trail.
Pine.
It's not pine.
Next, they
Use the net.
You know what this means?
What?
We're going global.
We're going global, huh?
Yep.
Hey.
Watch out for Greenland.
meet Aztec. Quite possibly the most versatile vehicle on the planet. By Pontiac. Built for drivers.
Pro Tips with Chris Walby. Brought to you by Dodge.
Hey, welcome to Pro Tips. Hey, it's playoff time and lots of stuff happening in the pits. With me today, three of my buddies from the Bomber offensive line, going to show you how to pick up some nasty defensive line stunts.
Thanks, Chris. We got a jet formation, which is a linebacker walked up in line of scrimmage. What we're going to do is we're going to try and zone block these three guys. They're going to try and run a stunt on us. We're going to have to bring our tackle around to block that whip stunt, and Vanky and myself are going to block the two big guys because they're going to try and grab us. Let's try it.
Let's go slide hard. Go.
Just killed me. And that enables our tackle to come around on that whip, make sure our quarterback doesn't take a shot.
And I tell you what, if I'm Kahari back here, I'm loving the way these guys are picking up the stunt. See you next time.
Pro Tips with Chris Walby. Brought to you by Dodge.
24-11 Lions at halftime. Damon Allen has been the Lion King so far. Let's send you upstairs and join Chris and Chris.
Yes, with the right honorable Chris Walby.
Hey.
Didn't know you were running.
I will lower taxes.
I'll tell you what, the Calgary Stampeders running for their lives right now. 13-point deficit at halftime.
Oh, I tell you what, they're just taking advantage of turnovers. 13 points off turnovers right now, but they're playing inspired football. We talk about the confidence level, the belief in each other. They're just doing it right now. I mean, take a look. Here's Damon Allen getting to the outside. Now, Chris, we know this is at the end of a Big 12-play drive that ate up 6 minutes on the clock.
2 interceptions for Dave Dickinson. This was the most costly. Eric Carter's always been a ball hawk in this league, and he takes this one back.
Oh, absolutely. We talked about, I mean, just taking chances on defense. He left his man in coverage and came over to help out and picked off the ball. I mean, then Dickinson, of course, comes back. We talked about where was Travis Moore. Well, there he was at the end of that touchdown, but there was a cost to pay. Take a look at this. Herman Smith rolls over, catches the knee of Dave Dickinson, and now the question is, How hurt is he?
That is the big question. I guess a good sign that they allowed him to walk off. They didn't cart him off, but it really will depend on what's going on in that dressing room right now. Can they come back with Dickinson? Can they come back with Coley?
Well, that's the big thing, and there's also one more piece of the puzzle. Offensive lineman David Heisman is out as well, so they may have to start at tackle at that left position. That might maybe Jeff Pilon.
Well, again, the Stampeders 0-3-1 when trailing at the half. The BC Lions enjoyed this kind of lead last week in the Western Semi. Scott?
Thank you, fellas. There are the Stamps here at McMahon Stadium. It's 24-11 BC. The pinball is coming up as the CFL on CBC. The West Final continues in a moment.
A door that won't get dings. It's not as important as an engine, or transmission, or safety features like airbags. A door that won't get dings is a relatively small thing. So what does it say when a car company puts so much into something that's so small? It says they already took care of the things that were big.
Hello, you're here just in time for backyard work.
Lucky for you, the new Express wrench from Mastercraft is already helping out in ways big, small, and every size in between.
Express wrench is the next evolution of adjustable wrench. Unlike traditional adjustables, you don't have to stop to resize the jaws. Express wrench has jaws that resize automatically.
There's hardly a bolt that Express wrench won't grab. And with its automatic ratcheting action, it won't let go until you want it to.
And Express wrench's comfortable hand grip is easier to hold on to.
Plus, the harder you pull, the tighter Express wrench grips. And since you never have to hunt for the right size wrench, Express wrench saves you time at every turn, and turn, and turn.
We get the picture.
All right then, get Express wrench. It's sold in sets or individually, starting at just $14.99.
All covered by the Mastercraft Lifetime Guarantee.
It's the next evolution of wrench, Express wrench. Available only at Canadian Tire.
Things could really get intense.
Welcome back to McMahon Stadium, getting set for the second half. And let's join the head coach of the Stampeders, Wally. The main question, the status of your quarterback.
Well, right now, I'm not even sure myself. That's something that the doctor's looking at, and hopefully he can get back into the game.
And what about Heisman?
Well, Heisman, just they're going to support it, and he should be fine.
Wally, what adjustments are you planning to make?
Well, I think the big adjustments is just not making the mistakes. We had the ball on the ground, too many interceptions, and it puts the defense in just too much pressure. They got an excellent offense, and you give them that many opportunities, they're going to hurt you.
Good luck in the second half.
Thank you.
Scott?
Yeah, Wally Buono, the coach of the Calgary Stampeders, and the Stampeders are down 24-11 to the BC Lions. Come on, Binball, wake up. That's been the story of the day.
Yeah, it seems like Calgary was asleep the first part of this football game. After having the bye week, 2 interceptions, a missed field goal, and then they lost the kickoff return. They just didn't play good football at the beginning of this game. On the other side, the BC Lions, Damon Allen. DA last week stand for doing it alone. He did it alone. This week it says doing it through the air. Everybody thought he was going to come out and run the football with his 2 big guys, Millington and Drummond. The mill didn't turn and the drum didn't roll, but the BC Lions did. Cinderella BC Lions are starting to look a lot more like Prince Charming.
Football players are big, strong players, and yet Dave Dickinson has been vulnerable. This time it's the left knee. How tragic might that be for the Stampeder chances?
Well, as the Calgary Stampeders goes, they go just as David Dickinson goes, and that's been the story all year long. He has to be healthy for them to have a chance to win this football game. But they're a veteran crew. They started to respond. I believe that we'll see a vibrant team that will manufacture ways to make points.
It's going to be fun second half.
Awesome. This is the best time of year of all. Yes.
Binball Clemens, let's go upstairs for the second half. Here are Chris and Chris.
Well, it hasn't been that much fun for the fans here in Calgary so far. Stampeders will get their hands on the football first in the second half. And here were the numbers from the first 30 minutes of football.
Well, BC really controlled the clock. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Look at the time of possession, 17:42. They got 13 points off turnovers. That's the other thing as well. We talked about the fact we thought they were going to run the ball. As Pinball said right there, Damon Allen is just getting it done through the air.
Well, it will be Mike Colley at least to start the second half. Dave Dickinson, I do not believe, has come out of the Calgary Stampeder locker room yet. Last time Brett Anderson kicked off, the Lions got the ball and Chuck Levy knocked it out of bounds to maintain possession. 24-11 as we're underway in the second half. Another short, high kickoff, and Marvin Coleman steps across the 45, and Coleman dropped the ball, and it bounced loose, still loose along the sidelines. I think the Lions got it. It went right by Alondra Johnson, and Kelly Lockbaum ends up getting the ball. Eric Carter stripped it loose. And more sleepwalking for the Stampeders.
Well, I mean, that's just great tackling by the BC Lions. I mean, the fact is, Marvin Coleman does a nice job on the short kickoff, takes it, gets good yardage on the return. You got to secure the football. You got to hold on to the rock. As you say, Eric Carter comes in there, swipes the ball, and the man who caused 2 fumbles last week, Kelly Lockbaum, Johnny on the spot with the big recovery.
So Damon Allen gets a chance to go right back to work. Quick hitter inside, drop by Sean Graham.
Damon Allen's pass for number 8.
On the numbers. Eric Carter already an interception for a touchdown. Now a forced fumble.
Well, you can see him right there. Number 2 just gets in there and swipes the arm, knocks the ball out of Marvin Coleman's hands. And as you say, Kelly Lockbaum with the timely fumble recovery. But if things are going wrong, boy, they just keep happening to the Calgary Stampeders, and that's not the way you want to start the second half.
Carter was on the losing side in the '98 Grey Cup against Calgary and last year in the Western Final, but trying to make amends. Allen this time hooks up with Graham, but a short gain, just a couple to the 43. Joe Fleming applying the heat on the Lions quarterback.
Well, nice job of this defense, and Wally Buono, alluded to this fact that, you can't keep putting the defense in these situations by keeping them on the football field, through turnovers. And it seems like the special teams has really been the part of the game that's really let them down. Yes, we have 2 interceptions by Dave Dickinson, but special teams, 2, a fumble, and an unrecoverable kickoff where they didn't even have to go after the football. I mean, you can't have those kind of mistakes.
Dave Thomas at Wendy's.
Marvin Coleman dropped the kickoff. Now he drops back to accept the punt from Pasaglia. Here comes the rush. Johnson nearly got it. Now Coleman from his 28 sidesteps one, and markers all over the field. But the Stamps came close to a block.
Well, they've come close on a number of occasions, Chris, on that punting formation. But now, I mean, after they get the ball back, flags are thrown, and, you wonder if this is going to go against BC, and the early indication by the Calgary players is against the BC Lions. But most of the time when you see a flag drop like that, it's usually
major foul, unnecessary roughness, BC number 19, first down.
Well, to continue that thought, most of the time you see it on a punt return, it's usually thrown on the blocking team. In this case, though, unnecessary roughness called against the BC Lions.
That's Mike Borer, product of the Regina Rams. He pushed Ollie Henry in one of those special team battles. Gives Calgary the ball at their own 46 with Mike Colley at the controls. And this will put even more emphasis, you would think, on Kelvin Anderson.
Hands to Kelvin
He loves the situation. He's the kind of guy who says, hey, if I got to be the hero, so be it. Give me the rock, give me the ball, let me do what I can do. But I think by running him and staying with your game plan, yeah, it's not Dave Dickinson at the controls, it's Mike Colley, but hey, this guy can get it done too. He's only played 2 games, but he's a winner. Hey, this is what it's talked about. Opportunity knocks in strange places. You got to take advantage of it.
Good numbers for Anderson. And the fact that Colley saw so much action against Hamilton in the season finale is certainly valuable now. Anderson with the carry once again to midfield. He's going to be short by a yard as Marvin Thomas and David Benefield stop the Stampeder running back.
Well, the thing is, you know you're going to run the football here, but look at Alan Pitts. Alan Pitts is going to be working against Carter. He just kind of lays off him right now. Now he's wide open in the flats. He's waving. He wants the football. Just can't believe it.
The spot was not as generous to the Stampeders, and it's 3rd and almost 2, and Wally Buono not going to gamble this early in the second half.
Number 11, Tony Martino.
Although we've seen Tony Martino be adventurous in the past. 5-time Western All-Star. Mike Fletcher is back deep for the Lions. Fletcher had a 26-yard return in the semifinal. He's got it at the 10, shakes a couple, and now is dropped at the 17-yard line. That's a 46-yard punt by Martino and a 7-yard Fletcher return.
Smile, because now there's a reason to love the end of the weekend. Every Sunday, a cheeseburger is just 69 cents at McDonald's. It's just our way of putting a little sun back into Sunday.
If you really wanted to be in an office all day, then why all the windows? Accept it. You belong outside.
From the creators of Listerine comes a weapon so revolutionary, it will kill evil breath bacteria.
Say ah.
Anytime, anywhere. New Listerine pocket packs. The action hero for a cleaner mouth.
Smile, because now there's a reason to love the end of the weekend. Every Sunday, a cheeseburger is just 69 cents at McDonald's. It's just our way of putting a little sun back into Sunday.
Back at McMahon, Mike Colley's got to do the job today for the Stampeders. The word from the Stamps training staff, Pat Clayton, is that Dave Dickinson is done for the day. The doctors are examining him right now. He won't be back today. Guys,
crushing blow for the Stampeders, losing the outstanding player nominee in the West. The flag goes down, play stopped before it got underway, and once again, we've got a procedure call against the Lions.
Well, Chris, it's almost like the defense is going to have to step up and create opportunities.
Procedure, BC number 62, still first down.
Creating turnovers, and that's that's Perez's 3rd procedure call, and there seems to be some sort of a communication problem. He's right at the bottom, right there, and for whatever reason, he's just leaving a snap count ahead.
That is, again, the 3rd time today for a Western All-Star. Usually reliable. Now it's a 1st and 15 situation. Stampeders pinning their ears back as Allen drops back to pass. There's Jimmy Oliver, and he's going to be dumped at the 17-yard line.
A nice job of Eddie Davis following him all the way across the field, which is not an easy task when you're tracking down the likes of the speedster Oliver. Just a little screen pass to the slot back coming across the middle, play action pass. He's going to step up in the pocket, just throw it over the middle. Nice job of just getting there, getting to that, but as you say, the closing speed, the tackling, Eddie Davis brings him down after a short gain. Bring up 2nd and long.
2nd and 10, they got back to the original line of scrimmage. They were 2 and out in their first series for the first time today, and an incompletion here intended for an open Don Blair.
And the reason that's such a big defensive stand, Chris, is now they're going to have to punt from deep in their own end. That's going to allow the Calgary offense to have good field position to start this drive. And if you want to build confidence in a guy that's going to come off the bench, you want to give him every opportunity. And sometimes that means give him the breaks, give him good field position to start the drives.
Well, Louis Pasaglia once had to pull it down, and a second time on his first punt of the second half, nearly had it blocked. Let's see if Calgary goes after them again.
Well, only one guy back, Chris. So I think they're coming after Louis.
Gets it away cleanly. Good punt. Coleman from his 47. Across midfield. And Marvin Coleman down at the BC Lion 47-yard line as Colley and the Stamps go back to work.
Looking for an all-purpose tire like the Goodyear Wrangler RTS? Come to Canadian Tire. We've got what you need to get away.
Mike Colley saw limited action in a couple of years in Hamilton, 97 and 98. Spent some time in Saskatchewan, picked up at midseason by the Stampeders after Troy Kopp was let loose. And now it's his game to win in the Western Final. He's got to come from behind, throws downfield, and finds Aubrey Cummings. Big catch by the extra receiver, Aubrey Cummings.
That's a nice job of Colley, but I love the way the offensive line stayed in there. Gave him the time to find a receiver. Then Colley uses his athletic ability to get to the outside, throws a stringer to Aubrey Cummings. He keeps his feet inbounds, moves the chains, but what an important first down to get him deep into BC territory.
Third-year man Cummings had his best season, 53 catches this year, and that's Noah Cantor, who has been so impressive at nose tackle for the Lions this season.
Well, with Noah out, they'll have to bring in Cameron Legault, who is plucked off the Calgary practice roster.
Cantor, a reserve player with the two-time Grey Cup champion Argos in 96 and 97. But the St. Mary's product has really come into his own here in BC.
Well, you can just see him coming around there at the top of your screen, and he gets knocked down, kind of catches his feet in the turf.
The injured Lion, number 92.
They kind of hope that maybe he just knocked the wind out of him on that play, and I think he'll be back.
Steve Barato made mention that Legault has done the job for them since coming over from Calgary, and while Cantor was being helped off, Colley went and had a chance to confer with offensive coordinator George Cortez. Ball at the Lions 22, first down Calgary. Anderson got away and drops the ball. Lions have it. BC comes up with another turnover. Kelly Lockbaum lowered the boom.
As you say, that was a great hit. Now, why is it that number 33 is all the way around the football? Here's a guy that can never get a chance to start at the middle linebacking position, yet every time he goes on that football field, he creates opportunities and he creates turnovers.
Couple of forced fumbles last week, and another one here.
They've given us much better seats, honey.
Great.
A leather-appointed interior and power front seats. Steering wheel mounted audio controls. A 6-disc in-dash CD changer. And highly responsive handling. The 2001 Accord. You'll love how it performs.
Currently, I'm working to heal people suffering from single-lens reflex phobia. For some, it's the complexity.
There's so many buttons and knobs and stop and live.
Shutter speed and the temperature and the depth of the field. For others,
It's just too big and heavy.
Introducing the new Nikon F65. So lightweight and easy to use, you'll never fear SLR photography again.
oil. Yes, it's that smooth.
Just the third fumble of the year for Kelvin Anderson, but the 5th turnover of the game for Calgary. The Abbotsford native Kelly Lockbaum with a huge play defensively. And now that Calgary defense, boy, they've been revved up here in the second half.
Well, they have a chance to win. It's going to be because of these guys on the defensive side of Calgary right now, because they keep putting them in bad spots. But look at this. You got everybody coming right now. You got guys trying to come on the outside. Everybody's pinching. As a result, there's no running lanes. So when he hands off the football to Kelvin Anderson, it's all clogged up. He's got to take it to the outside. Benefield's there, Kidd's there. Now he's doing what he can to try to pick up anything positive. But Kelly Lockbaum, helmet on the football. McClellan, another fumble recovery.
2nd and 10. Damon Allen was looking deep. He may run. Gets it away, Jackson, but Allen was over the line of scrimmage.
Damon Allen.
And a flag flies. Damon Allen appealing.
The pass is complete.
And in that case, I was a little surprised he didn't take off.
Chris, great call by you right there. Damon Allen kind of losing sight of the line of scrimmage.
Illegal forward pass. BC number 9. Repeat 2nd down.
He was so focused on trying to find a receiver open that he just kind of started drifting toward the line of scrimmage. Just going to step up in the pocket, little pump fake, moves up. Now he's watching. He's looking for somebody to come open. As he sees him, he steps up and crosses the line of scrimmage. As a result, an illegal throw.
They march it back 10. It's 2nd and 20. And again, the Lions looking for their initial first down for the second half. Calgary will have to mount a comeback on the backs of their defense, it would appear, with their starting quarterback out of the game. Here's Allen under pressure. Always elusive. Across the 35. And he's knocked out of bounds at the 41. He'll be short of the first down.
You know, he'll be short of the first down, but he gets his team out of terrible field position. This is just pure athletic ability. Should have been brought down twice on this play. Just going to sit down there. You can see Joe Fleming in the bottom of the screen. He's got the first shot of it. Then he gets away from the second guy, Kevin Johnson. Then it becomes a foot race. And this 16-year vet can still get it done when he gets in the open field.
Always cool on the sideline, Steve Barato, but we saw what happened last week. The Lions lead shrank very quickly in the second half, and right now the Lions aren't moving the ball.
But that is such a big play, because instead of punting from your goal line, you're punting from your 25-yard line. That is an immensely big play by Damon Allen.
See if they go after Pasaglia again. Well covered, but a poor punt. And it kicks out. Shanked by Pasaglia at the Stampeder 42, a 28-yard punt.
They rocked an entire generation. And a generation later, they're back. Now, for one night only, on CBC, the world television premiere, the Guess Who, the concert. From Winnipeg, where it all began, the Guess Who, the concert. Tonight at 8 on CBC television.
Not just Dave Dickinson out, that's Jeff Pilon in for Heisman at left tackle. Kelvin Anderson sprinting to the right side, gets to the 46-yard line.
He's out of bounds.
And as much as they want to depend on Anderson, doesn't this offense get awfully predictable if they keep giving it to 32?
Well, I think you still got to do it. I mean, obviously you can't abandon him. Yes, he put the ball on the ground the play previous, but you got to also let him know that we still got confidence in you, Calvin. We know you can still do it. But yes, once the time starts to become on your enemy, you're going to have to start throwing the football.
2nd and 6. Passing situation here, halfway through the third quarter. Ollie nailed, and the pass incomplete. Looking for more, and he was decked.
Well, what does experience bring you? Dickinson recognized this. When you're going to bring this many guys, Lockbaum, Kidd, and Fletcher, I mean, it's an all-out blitz. As a result, you have to offset or change your routes. Your receivers have to be on the same page as the quarterback, and you can't sit there that long. Look at them. They're all coming right there. There's not enough guys to pick them up. You can't sit back there. When that happens, you got to get rid of the football, make your read that much quicker.
Tony Martino comes back in. It's been a defensive saw in this third quarter. Remains a 13-point Lion lead.
But the most important thing, Chris, is every time your offense doesn't move the football, you put it back in the hands of the BC Lions, who in effect take more time off the clock.
Cunningham from inside his 20, breaks one, and spins his way close to the 30-yard line, and flags are flying.
And we do have a penalty.
You see a face mask there, Cunningham did. 44 yards on the punt, an 8-yard return. And they'll sort out the flag. We'll be back to McMahon Stadium after this.
Remember, he's still a kid at heart. And come Christmas morning, he can't wait to rip open something really, really cool. So get him something special from his favorite toy store, Canadian Tire.
Canadian Tire lets you give like Santa and save like Scrooge.
It used to be that just Fridays were casual. Now it can start Monday and go all week. To some, this means anything goes. To us, it means tailored pants, sport coat, knit shirt, even suits when done right. The trick is in knowing what works and what doesn't. Or better yet, a place that does.
At Moore's, we don't take dressing casually. Well made, well priced, well dressed. Moore's.
One life isn't enough. I need 2 lives. Maybe 3. For all I want to do.
It's Delicio.
Andre Arlane called for face masking Jimmy the Jet Cunningham. When the ball moved to the 44-yard line, Arlane is number 82.
Well, you can see it right there also. There it is. He just got the hand right on there as he takes him down to the ground. The referee throws the flag, and you can't take those kind of penalties at this stage in the game.
Now Damon Allen thinks about running. A little shovel toss, and Cunningham hit hard but hangs on to the football.
Damon Allen.
When you're confident as an offensive unit, you make plays like this work. I mean, when you look up here and you see him toss that shovel pass up in the air in a crowd of Calgary defenders, Jimmy the Jet Cunningham not only gets crunched, but hangs onto the football. That's when you know things are going your way today.
Damon Allen that time seemed to be straddling the line of scrimmage. No call. Cunningham had a touchdown in the first half. He had a touchdown in the Western semifinal. Midfield, first down, BC. Damon Allen looking for Oliver, and a great pass. Greg Frere's punishing Oliver, but the damage is done.
Well, now they're also going to tack on a late hit on Greg Frere's. You cannot take penalties that are going to hurt your team. And I call those selfish penalties. I know you're frustrated. He's out of bounds. Don't tack on anything else because you may stop him here.
Unnecessary roughness. Calgary number 12.
It's just sign of frustration, and I understand you're frustrated, but you're still in this game. You still got a quarter left. You're only down by 13. Don't fold your tent.
Face mask penalty started it. And now that. And the result is a 41-yard gain. Wally Buono's seen this movie before.
Well, absolutely. I mean, now you've put him inside the 15-yard line, giving Damon Allen an opportunity to go to the end zone. I mean, it's just inexcusable.
Allen with time, end zone. Jackson overthrows his favorite target. Jack Kellogg in coverage. And there is a flag down as well in the secondary as Jackson points to the scoreboard.
Well, they're going to call pass interference on the Calgary defense.
Major foul, face mask, Calgary number 29, first down.
Eddie Davis, I mean, this is just something. I mean, this is, you know, we saw Greg Frères take the unnecessary, you know, hit and the penalty there, the roughness call, and now face masking, and obviously we had another one on the punt. I mean, it's just, you just can't be doing this right now. It's almost a sign of retreat, of throwing out the white flag.
And I'm going back to your keys now. Killer instinct.
Absolutely. I mean, they're helped when you take penalties like that.
Allen, shovel pass, touchdown, Sean Millington. And the Lions get that much closer to staying another week.
Well, that's what happens. You put yourself in a situation close to the goal line, albeit aided by penalties. They've been running this play successfully. We saw it just on the same drive. Jimmy the Jet Cunningham coming up with a great catch on the shovel pass. And, I mean, he pitches this to Millington, and there's nobody that even touches him until he gets into the end zone.
Well, a penalty-aided drive, but an impressive march nonetheless. Talks about how 93 was gut-wrenching even now, and 7 years later.
You know, we talk about 93, we talk about 94. They were in the, you know, in the final, and they lost to BC. I don't care what year you're in it. I don't care where you're playing it. When you're in the final and you're only one game away from going to the cherished land, it doesn't matter. It kills you, it hurts you. And now you lose your leader, Dave Dickinson. Now, we haven't talked about, I mean, how much does that affect you emotionally? You know you're going in with your backup who's only played 2 games for you. You also know when they had Troy Kopp running the controls, back when Dickinson was out mid-season with a knee injury, how this offense all but fell apart.
Calgary lost only 1 home game this year, and that was when Dickinson was injured. Labor Day game.
Well, I think there's another one. I mean, they're undefeated, as you said, in the pregame, 9-0 in these uniforms. So, I mean, that's another thing that's in serious jeopardy with a 20-point lead.
What a contrast on the sidelines right now. 31-11 for the BC Lions.
It's called confidence on one side, self-doubt on the other. You're starting to question yourselves. Now's the time where you test your mettle. You pull together as a unit, saying, you know what, we got 14 minutes left. If we have any chance of getting there, we've got to do it now. We can't wait any longer.
Again, Anderson out of a formation that has given Calgary some trouble on kickoffs. Marvin Coleman will try again, and flags fly as he gets across the 30-yard line.
Well, Carl Kidd caused that penalty. He just beat his blocker, Darryl Hall, down the field. Hall had to clip him in the back. As a result now, whatever return Coleman gets is negated. And now the Calgary offense
block
deeper.
Calgary number 4, first down.
And these are all-star guys. Eddie Davis, Greg Frères, Darryl Hall, perhaps not an all-star this year, but a perennial all-star. They're making the mistakes.
Well, absolutely, and no penalty is a good penalty. But they're even magnified more at critical times. And this is, I mean, when the game's on the line, these are all terrible times to get it.
There's Dave Dickinson, done for the day. And his team looks like it may be done for the season unless Mike Colley can rally a remarkable comeback. Throwing downfield to Boerechter, and he can't bring it in. Central McClellan in a duel with the rookie Boerechter.
And Chris, you talked about this earlier. You talked about Calgary coming in this game thinking they were going to get a lot of zone coverage. BC said, we're going to mix them up a little bit. We're going to do a lot of man because we feel that these guys have got enough athletic ability to go one-on-one with their receivers. I mean, there's obviously, it all starts with the pressure up front. They get called to the outside. He throws off his back foot. But the coverage at the end is there. You can see. Well, Boerechter's got to come up with that catch. I'm sorry.
He has tweaked the ankle again, is getting attention at the bench. 2nd and 10. 4 minutes left. Drop ball, and Colley has to pick it up and scramble. He dropped it again and got, fortunately, a quick whistle.
Oh, that's a very quick whistle because it all started with a bad exchange between the center and the quarterback, Cauley. He fumbles the ball, picks it up, and then tries to scramble for whatever he can, and fumbles the ball again. And as you say, Chris, very, very fortunate because that ball realistically could belong to the BC Lions. You see, it was out of his hands before he hit the ground. That was a very gracious call for the Calgary Stampeders.
Cauley unable to produce a first down for Calgary in this third quarter. And a fumble by Anderson, compounding the problems. Jimmy Cunningham slipped, but gets it across midfield.
Jimmy Cunningham on the return.
26 to play in the third quarter of the Western Final.
37 on the kick for Martino.
Looking for a winter tire like the Michelin Arctic Alpine? Come to Canadian Tire. We'll get you wherever you want to go.
BC Lions at 2-5 in their history against Calgary in playoff competition, but their 2 wins came in 1964 and 1994. And in those 2 years, the Lions roared to the Grey Cup.
You know, Chris, I also thought there was an interesting stat we looked at yesterday, that a first-place Western team has never gone to the Grey Cup. So the curse continues, maybe, in 13 more minutes.
Certainly looks like it. Look at Allen weave out of traffic. Damon Allen, another display, and he doesn't like the term, Chris, that he's in a zone. But Damon Allen looks like he's back in that 1987-93 zone.
He is the most charitable man you ever talked to. He doesn't like to talk about himself, doesn't like to talk about his accolades, what he does on the field. But look what he does. I mean, the offensive line, they give him the protection early. He does the rest on his own. Great athletic ability, finding the zone, as you say, breaking it. And you know what? Every time he gets a first time, he puts another nail in the coffin of the Calgary Stampeders.
You can see the expression written on the faces of the Calgary defenders. That was Jeff Traversy. 1st and 10. Allen looking deep. Incomplete as he nearly spun Robert Drummond. Matched up against Darrell Hall.
Killer instinct, baby. That's what it's about. And I tell you what, they're not content with the 20-point lead. He's going downtown. And as you say, this ball is on the money. It's a nice throw. He's got one-on-one coverage with Darrell Hall. Robert Drummond just can't come up with the catch. He knows it. It was a great throw by Damon Allen. It is right there.
So Allen on the money. And he has been more than a handful. He's been a headache for Mike Roach today, the Stampeder defensive coordinator. 2nd and 10, and Allen running the ball like a guy half his age, 37 years of age. He has run for more yards than any other quarterback in CFL history, and he just moved the chains again.
You know what? You gotta love it. You gotta love it. The man never gets the respect he's due. This is a great player that we're watching right now. 16-year veteran, only 41 yards rushing against Calgary in 2 games. Didn't even rush the ball once the last time they played. Here he comes now. He knows when the game is here. They're in that area. He's just starting to do whatever he has to do. I'll throw it. I get a little seam. That was a planned call. That was a quarterback draw. Boom. Bust it up. Keep the drive alive.
I guess when you're 37, you've got to pick your spots. There's another shovel toss, and Millington lowers the boom. He did step out, but even there, you could see the Stamps are not finishing their tackles.
Because right now, the lifeblood of the Calgary Stampeders is slowly being sucked out of their bodies right now. Things are just falling apart right now. They want to believe. They still want to be in there. They're still looking to each other saying we can still do it. But with every tick of the clock and every time Damon Allen takes off with that football or pitches it to Drummond or hands it to Millington, you can just see they start to seep a little far, like leaves falling off a tree.
Another first down. They've got it down to the 16-yard line. Pump fake. Oliver pumps as he tried to get deep. Ball falls incomplete as Pryor was in a pushing match with the intended receiver.
But I'll tell you what, he is not playing conservative. A lot of people used to attack that man and say, you know, he's content with just going sideline to sideline. He is really attacking this Calgary defense, stretching it at will, going deep repeatedly.
2nd and 10 Lions at the Calgary 16.
2nd and 10. Great protection all day for Allen. Now he sidearms it, incomplete. Eddie Davis in coverage. That pass intended for Denny Montana.
Well, he has spread it around to all the receivers, and hey, why not go to Denny Montana? Get him involved, get him a stat, get him a catch for the records, because right now everybody on that BC sidelines is having fun. Everything's working.
There's that sidearm throw again, and although Montana doesn't fit into this, Damon Allen has 6 receivers with over 500 yards this year. That's more than any other team in the league, so it is a very diversified attack.
Absolutely, and that means you just can't key on one receiver. You can't worry about one guy because they got 5 other guys that can kill you.
How about the script that's being written for this man? In his 25th year, he puts another through. We thought Louis was done when he kicked the winner in '94 in the Grey Cup game. 6 years later, he may get a chance again.
You know what? You wonder about this. It's almost like a charmed life. You couldn't write a script any better. This is a screenplay. It only happens in the movies. Not a chance. It's happening here. I mean, Pasaglia is retiring after nearly 25 years. Who would have thought? I mean, what a great career. And to be able, you know, with the amount of time left on the clock and a 23-point lead, to go to the Cup, as we see him right there in a flashback. What an amazing story.
And you know, in '94, it was BC against Baltimore, the distant cousins of the Montreal Alouettes of today. And it looks like that's what it's going to be again. Mike Colley in all kinds of trouble. And Carl Kidd brings him down at the 30. And it continues to unravel here in the late stages of the 3rd quarter for the home side.
Well, there's a flag deep in the defensive secondary of the BC Lions. And a man around the flag, a man we haven't called much today, Vince Danielson.
Major foul, face mask, BC number 34, first down.
Well, that's McClellan's 2nd penalty and the 2nd one for face masking today. I mean, they're taking a little bit of chances out there right now, and that's one of the reasons that the receivers are so well covered, Chris. It always helps when you got a hand in somebody's face mask. And you can see right there, working against Vince Danielson, a man we have not talked about at all today.
Gives them a first down at the 50. Flag flies, play is stopped. Somebody jumped early, and we'll have one more play in the 3rd quarter. This is going against Calgary. You know, bringing up Danielson.
Procedure, Calgary number 64, still first down.
That's the newcomer Pilon. In there for Heisman at left tackle. But prior to the game, the Stamps coaches were saying, we think today the slots will have a big game against the BC defense. It is a team that has a history of great production out of the slots, but this year it's been more the wideouts. But today, Pitts and Danielson have been silenced. 1st and 15, Colley throws, batted down in front of Travis Moore by Central McClellan.
Mike Colley passes incomplete.
Well, at the end of the quarter, the fans are screaming for a pass interference penalty, but McClellan again making the right play at the right time.
5-yard line across the middle. There's Vince Danielson. Danielson down to the 30. He could score. Finally brought down at the 11.
Nice read. Way to get your man. The slot backs. You just mentioned that earlier, Chris, that we thought they'd have a big day. Nice job of getting the ball to Vince Danielson and Alan Pitts, his partner, down the field. Throwing a block, trying to spring him even farther. Well, he just comes across the middle there. Nice catch, finds some open field. Trying to get around some blocking, and takes it down to the 11-yard line.
Bo Lewis saves a touchdown, 44 yards for 88, whose birthday just happens to be on Grey Cup Sunday. Colley, Aubrey Cummings down to the 3, and again they can make a first down without scoring. It'll be 2nd and 2.
Well, they're going to bring the big boys in right now. The short yardage team, Fleming, Mark Pilon, Dwayne Ford back in the ball game, Scott Regenbold, the big boys.
Well, this would provide a jolt of adrenaline and maybe a new dose of conviction.
A much-needed injection of confidence.
Somebody late getting into the fray for BC. Mano a mano, Anderson. I don't think he got there, as he was stacked up. Marvin Thomas at the bottom of that pile defensively.
Marvin Thomas and Noah Cadner just go underneath and keep your legs. They get lower than the offensive lineman. Here's the three-quarter stats. I mean, 313 net yards to 149, 26 minutes to 19. Anytime you have the ball, that means the other team's offense doesn't have it. And obviously the big one right there, 5 turnovers. That'll come back and haunt you.
3rd and 1 as they reload in the trenches. Could be the ball game right here. Colley, touchdown.
Changed it up a little bit, Chris. They took the double tight ends out. That makes BC's defense have to respect the opportunity to throw the football. Takes one of the linebackers out of the box. As a result, he just ducks his head behind the big boys, Crysdale, Childress, and McNeil, and just gets right in there. And you can see right there, if your line is getting to the back, if your line is getting into the feet of your linebackers, in that case, Kelly Lockbaum, 9 out of 10 times your quarterback should cross the goal line, and he does in that case.
75 yards in 7 plays. The big one, the 44-yarder to Vince Danielson. And the first place finishers in the West still have a little bit of life. 34-18 with 12 and a half minutes to play in the 4th quarter at McMahon. Alan Pitts just conferred with Mike Colley, who's in discussion with Dave Dickinson. We were eavesdropping during the break. Chris, they think they found something. It may be too late, but they think they found something over the middle in that Lions defense.
Well, I believe it's never too late, and it's always a nice sign that your offense is starting to see something that they can exploit. We know that BC's defense has really played aggressive. We know that BC has always attacked the linebackers. I think he sees that. But here's the short yardage goal line. He's just going to go this side. Everybody's pinching in this way. He's just going to take it over to the left side where there's less seats. He's just going to go over his left guard and left tackle. Pilon and McNeil. And just get across that line of scrimmage. Everyone expects him to follow the center. Sometimes your quarterback knows that that's where the most resistance is going to be, so he just takes it to one side or the other, and he does so effectively on that goal line.
Let's dial back to a week ago. It was a 17-point lead for the Lions after 3 quarters, and the Eskimos came within a late missed field goal of tying it. It's now a 16-point lead with just over 12 minutes to go.
You can never relax. You got to keep the enthusiasm and the fire going for 60 minutes.
Let's see how David Allen responds. He goes to the ground. Sean Millington tries the right side. He's drilled out at the 49 as we join Scott Russell.
Thanks, guys. Rocco Romano was here in '93. I can't play this time because of a rotator cuff injury. And now Dave Dickinson's gone, and you got 12 minutes left. Do you see something that you can maybe make happen?
Well, that last drive was a big play, get some points on the board. There's a lot of time on the clock. Defense has to hold up strong right now, make it 2 and out for them, and hopefully our offense can get in a groove and score some more points. There's a lot of time. Everybody knows 12 minutes in the CFL is a lot of time. We have the offense and the players to do it. We just got to get it done.
Why'd you come out so slow, do you think?
I'm not sure. It's in these types of games, it's just bad mistakes or turnovers, and they've gone BC's way, and they've capitalized on that. They've pretty much got all the turnovers and capitalized with points. Just really nothing's gone our way up until now. That big play was a big play for us, and hopefully that'll motivate the guys to push through this fourth quarter and turn this around. But you got to give BC credit. They came in here hungry to play.
Thanks, Rock. Good luck.
Thank you.
Guys.
Well, that last scoring drive has stoked the fire of the defense. You saw Alondra Johnson turn the heat up on Damon Allen.
Well, you heard Rocco say we need a 2 and out, and that's what they did. They forced BC to punt, giving their offense another opportunity.
Lions have been very careful in their punt alignment. After a couple of near blocks, they may get one here. Close again. Off the side of Pisaglia's foot. And immediately Coleman down at the 27. Kevin Johnson came close that time, but the wily veteran gets another one away. Next Saturday, we'll get you in the mood for the big game with a replay of a Grey Cup Classic, the 1976 game. And then Grey Cup Sunday, our coverage begins at 3:30 Eastern, 1:30 Mountain. The 88th Grey Cup game begins at 5:30 Eastern, 3:30 Mountain. We know Montreal will be there. And there is Alan Pitts, we just mentioned, eavesdropping at the Calgary bench. That is the area they think they can exploit.
Well, the reason they can do that is that we see that Calgary's offense is going to go into the fire offense. It's calling the signals, not allowing BC to send in their defensive signals, is because BC's defense is becoming very aggressive as they have all day and attacking with the linebackers. There's a lot of room behind the linebackers.
Still over 10 minutes to go. First down, Colley at the helm. And that pass incomplete.
Incomplete.
Intended for Aubrey Cummings,
Cummings,
who's made a couple of catches this afternoon.
Well, they're all playing tight, and that's what they're going to do. And Colley has recognized that. You heard him say that. He's seeing some things. Look at everybody's up here. Now, here's the zone they're going after right there. With everybody so tight to the line right now, they're going to come underneath right there. You can see them coming back into the middle.
2nd and 10, Calgary at the Stampeder 50.
2nd and 10. At the 50-yard line with 4 receivers to the right side. Colley steps up, nearly lost it, now takes off with it, and he's got a first down. Mike Colley down inside the 45, and the backup now trying to inspire the troops.
Momentum is a wonderful thing, boy, and it can change quickly. As you're seeing right now, after that last touchdown, the last time that Calgary had the offense, Mike Colley doing a little impression of Damon Allen by tucking the ball down and making a couple defenders miss him and picking up a big first down.
George Cortez calling the plays for Colley. Out of the gun. Kelvin Anderson out of the backfield. Out at the 36-yard line. That's 8 more.
Close to 9 yards on the Colley pass.
The biggest thing that happens is when a team starts to pick up their play, as Calgary's offense is right now, that puts a lot of pressure on the BC defense. They've had their way pretty much for 3 quarters. Now they've got to pick up their level again. They went into that relaxed mode a little bit, saying, you know what, this game is pretty much ours. Now they got to put it back on, almost do the chin strap up again.
Still a lot of veterans in the black and red, and a lot of youngsters wearing white. 2nd and 1. Anderson left side. Herman Smith to stop. But I think Anderson's got enough.
They brought in the double tight ends. Joe Fleming comes to the short side. They pull the guard and they just give Kelvin Anderson the football deep and let him find his hole right there. Just going to take it to the left. You see Fred Childress coming around to the outside. Herman Smith does a nice job of bringing him down, but not before Kelvin Anderson is stretched forward with enough yardage to keep the drive alive.
No huddle offense for the Stampeders. First down, Colley in some difficulty. Look out! Wisely threw it away.
Mike Colley.
He was so far back, he barely made it to the line of scrimmage with that toss.
Absolutely, but a heads-up play, not putting his team in a situation where he's going to take a deep loss. puts everything he has into that throw, just gets it over the original line of scrimmage, so it's not a grounding penalty, but a heads up play by Colley.
Chris, you notice a lot of the Lions defenders are, instead of tackling the man, they're trying to tackle the football and knock it loose again.
Well, absolutely. I mean, that's what you do. The problem is, though, sometimes when you go with the ball, you miss the man completely, and it turns into a big play against you.
2nd and 10. Colley looking deep into the end zone. Incomplete, intended for Moore.
Number 83, Travis Moore.
Travis Moore in triple coverage, and that's the respect he gets. Almost comes up with another miraculous catch on his back, much like the first touchdown he got in the second quarter. Mike Colley's just going to air this ball out right now. There's 3 guys going to come into the picture covering Travis Moore. He just falls down and almost comes up to him, and it looks like the last defender, Bo Lewis, just causes enough distraction that doesn't allow Travis Moore to come up with that catch.
Mark McLaughlin trying to lower the deficit to 13. This will be a 41-yard attempt. Just under 8 minutes to go. And McLaughlin, the hero at 98, delivers.
That is a big field goal, Chris. Right now, you are 2 converted touchdowns away from taking the lead.
Back at McMahon Stadium, there's our internet address, cbc.ca. Don't forget to dial in, log on, and send us your nomination for the CFL on CBC Player of the Year. Do that soon. We're back. Go, guys.
And the BC Lions go back to work on offense. 10 unanswered points for Calgary. Donnie Blair, oh, he's hit hard, but hangs on near midfield.
Absolutely big catch by Donnie Blair coming into the middle, knowing he's going to take a shot from Frères. He's just going to come inside. All he's going to do is just come inside there, and the ball is on the money. Nice job of coming in there, going right across. You see him coming in the middle. Now he knows he's going to get hit. Bam! But holds onto the ball. And Chris, this is a big drive for the BC Lions because they have to start taking some of that momentum that Calgary's starting to get.
We saw Blair take a lick last week from Torrey Hunter, but get up and signal a first down. Allen with some trouble. Play's been stopped. Play whistled down by Jake Ireland. And a time count violation against BC.
Time count violation, BC number 9, still first down.
And the Lions may be happy they only are charged with a 5-yard penalty because that play looked like it was not going anywhere.
5-yard penalty, but they retained first down. That's the biggest thing right now. So they still have 2 downs to get a first down.
7 minutes remaining in the 4th quarter. Allen looking deep, looking downfield, and he's got Jimmy Oliver up against Anthony Pryor, and the speedster hauls in another.
Well, that is a game catch right there. I'm telling you right now. Great coverage. I mean, Pryor is there. He's running step for step with Oliver, who just has great concentration, great presence to find the football in the air. I mean, look at it. He's there. Look at the coverage. Look at the coverage. He takes it right over the shoulder of Anthony Pryor. That is great concentration. What a catch by Jimmy Oliver.
You mentioned the last time he played Calgary, 5 catches for 136 yards. Look at the damage he's done today. That's a matchup of the 2 fastest men on the respective teams. Oliver against Pryor. First down, Allen down, back at the 25. Ball came loose. Calgary says they've got it.
Now the argument will be, did the ground cause the fumble? Was he down?
They're going to confer about it.
You see, just a little bootleg. He wants to run the shovel, but it's taken away this time. Oh, that ball looked like it came out before he hit the ground there, Chris.
Peoples pounced on it. And it is 2nd down, BC.
Well, we might want to take another look at that. I mean, that's really, really close. I mean, it's just a play action. He's going to go to the outside. Different angle here.
Knee down.
Oh, his knees are down. All right. Boy, those are critical calls, and you love it when they're right because you hate to have a call like that. decide a football game.
2nd and 14, Allen called the quarterback draw, now kicks out, and he'll throw it out for Jackson, touchdown! What a remarkable job, but flag down.
There is a flag down. What great improvisation by Damon Allen. Originally a quarterback draw call. The penalty is against BC, so all for naught, but he just changes the outlook of this play. Instead of taking it up the middle, he gets back, comes back, adjusts, gets to the outside, throws a perfect pass to a streaking out for Jackson.
BC number 88, repeat 2nd down.
Sean Graham with an untimely call there, negating what was a great play by Damon Allen, a great adjustment by him, and a beautiful throw, as you say, to Action Jackson, which would have probably put the finishing touches on the Stampeders.
Graham, native of Richmond, BC, shakes his head, but his quarterback was in trouble, and you wonder if in that circumstance...
Well, you know what? And it's a called quarterback draw, so he's downfield thinking he's blocking. It's a great observation, Chris Cuthbert.
So 2nd down, 24. Back at the 35. And Allen loads it up again, looking downfield. And a catch, but out of bounds. Blair made the catch, but couldn't get a foot down. But I'll tell you, the Lion receivers have had sticky fingers today.
They really have, Chris. And the thing that I've been most impressed with is, and I don't want to keep beating this term to death, the killer instinct, the ability to still go vertically down the football field, the ability to keep challenging these defensive backs. This time trying to go down the field, stretching the defense to Donnie Blair. LaFon Williams, the rookie, with coverage. Nice catch by Blair, but out of bounds.
Now it's a 13-point lead. Pisaglia makes this. It becomes 2 touchdowns and 2 two-point converts. And Wally Guano wants to call a timeout.
Another crucial moment from 42 yards.
Are they going to get it? From the 42, Nussmeier the holder. And Louis nailed another. Why is this guy retiring?
That is the question.
46-year-old Louis Pisaglia.
37, the Calgary Stampeders 21.
It's easy to let the little things slide, but not your family's safety. So stay on track with Michelin MX4s from Canadian Tire.
Not sure why Wally Guano wanted to spend a time out there. It did not get called. And the deficit is 16 again with 5:27 to go. But there is still hope.
Well, sometimes you make that call if you don't have enough players on the field or there's a breakdown. Or maybe just to make Louis think about the kick. He realizes the importance of that field goal.
You would think, though, having to come from behind, that timeout will be valuable for Mike Colley to use. Calgary has scored on its last 2 possessions. Colley throwing, Alan Pitts complete at the 51.
Number 18 has
they have come alive, and they have found number 18 and number 88. Pitts and Danielson, and Mike Colley screaming out directions right now. He knows that the way to beat these guys right now is to go to fire. Look, he just goes inside, comes back in the middle, right in front of Derek Lewis with a nice catch.
Pitts with only 6 catches against BC in the regular season. Colley in trouble. He throws it up, and it's picked off. Carter has his 2nd of the game, and that one couldn't have been easier.
That was a horrible decision, and you hate to say that. The guy has really come out, played like a trooper, started reading the defense, making the plays, Mike Colley. But you know what? When you see the pressure, almost like we watched Kahari Jones do last week under pressure, you don't throw the ball up. These are backbreakers. Now the pressure's going to come on him, so he throws the ball up. But look where it ends up. There's nobody around right there. Alan Pitts is initially going to be there, but even he can't catch up to that throw. And that, you know, it's a surprise, Chris, because we saw Colley make such a great decision before when he was about to get sacked and throwing the ball out of bounds, you know, not putting his team in a hole. And this one, he tries to force it. That's one of those situations he just tried to make something happen.
6th turnover of the game for Calgary. And now Millington, short yardage.
Well, that really is a big play in the fact that it allows BC to look at the clock now and really see the clock. I mean, they're always watching the clock, but when you got the lead they have now with 4:02 and clicking, they know that it's so close. The Holy Land is almost there.
Under 4 minutes to go. Second and 10.
For no gain, and it's 2nd and 10 from the 45.
Allen dropped it, and it bounced right back into his hands. Look out! Damon Allen snowed under by Ray Jacobs, and the defense does a huge job backing them up to the 34-yard line. A loss of 12.
A loss of 12 and nowhere for Damon Allen to go. No openings. They all came on. The whole defensive line was in his face. He looked like he could scramble or something. Very lucky that he didn't get seriously injured when you got a guy of Ray Jacobs' stature coming over the top trying to take your head off.
And Chris, although the odds are getting longer, there's still over 3 minutes to go. And the defense gets the ball back for Calgary.
The defense did their job. All they can do is go out there and force BC to punt away their football, to give their offense another opportunity to try and score some points. They did that. Now it's all in Mike Cauley's hands again.
22.
Unless the Stamps can do something on special teams.
Absolutely, they have come close.
Saglia quickly gets it away. Coleman on a dead run across midfield and into Lions territory. 3:19 to go.
Punt return.
Good field position.
32
There's
yards
Roger
on the kick
Reinson,
to
a
Lucas
former
Saglia.
Stampeder, the native of Melville, Saskatchewan. Always a key player on special teams. Reinson, a former Regina Ram, and his alma mater, going to the 2000 Vanier Cup against the University of Ottawa. And our congratulations to those two teams for their performance yesterday. James Baker and Darrell Leeson, a couple of the heroes leading the GGs of the Rams to the Vanier Cup. Mike Cauley back to work, looking downfield, and another picked off. Kerry Snell, in just his second CFL game, has his first ever interception, that intended for Travis Moore.
Absolutely, Chris. Travis Moore just gets his feet caught up going down the field, falls down, then it just becomes a catch for Snell, and that's a really crucial interception.
Division II All-American, the sixth corner.
They don't know.
This year for the BC Lions with his first ever Canadian Football League interception. Back at the 20. Here's Sean Millington.
More impressive than that, Chris. That's his second start last week. His first game as a professional in the Canadian Football League. Well, this is a game of turnovers. Started early with the interception by Mike Crum. And, of course, the big one by Eric Carter, who returned it all the way for a touchdown. Then they don't concentrate on the kickoff. Another turnover. Then Calvin Anderson. Ball stripped there by Coleman. Calvin Anderson puts the ball on the ground as well. Great hit by Lockbaum, but just keeps going on and on and on. Turnover after turnover. And boy, when things aren't working against him, you see that last one, Travis Moore just falling down. The easy interception for Kelly Snell.
And now Allen just falling down back at the 23. 2:17 to go, and again, the Lions must punt.
You know what? They know they got to punt, but right now, I guarantee you in the back of every one of those BC Lions players' mind is, we're going to the Cup. You hate to say it with 2:17 left, and there's always a chance, but they know right now it's close. You can taste it right now.
Last season, it was Calgary marching in to BC Place and winning 26-24 to spoil a home team performance in the Grey Cup. They've got Don Blair in. Looks like they'll concede 2 here. Donnie Blair taking the ball to the back line, and And stepping out, minute 49 to go. And that means it's now a 14-point lead. Coach did that last week. Took a 5-point lead and made it 3, which I thought was curious.
I think he's a little safer with this point spread, Chris, but I think it's a good call. If you're going to allow Calgary to put any more points on the board offensively against you, make them go the long field rather than the short field.
And Calgary will take the ball at their own 35-yard line, so they are not going to take the kickoff. Let's go back to 94, the final play of the game. McManus to Flutie, maybe the most famous Lions play ever. That shocked McMahon Stadium. And on the next week to win it all.
And that's why I said, Chris, I know we talk a lot about the 93 game, but whenever you get a chance to go to the Cup and you're one game away, I don't care who you lose to, it's just heart-wrenching.
Mike Colley back in there and missed both pits. And Travis Moore, I believe, it fell in between them. Pitts showing frustration now. Minute 43 to go. The Montreal Alouettes beat BC twice this year. They were dandies, though, 35-25. And on September 29th, 29-28, in that game, the Lions were leading most of the way. And it was a crushing loss for the Lions, one that Steve Barato talked about yesterday being a tough hurdle to overcome for their team. But obviously, they put that behind them now. Here's Colley on the run. Travis Moore was behind everybody, but he couldn't get him the football. And now they're down to 3rd and 10.
You know what, Chris? A lot was made before this game about the inexperience of the secondary, the BC Lions. I ran into an old friend of mine, an old teammate of mine yesterday. I mean, he played with us, and he's helping out coaching right now with the BC Lions. He phoned Barato, asked him if he could come back, help out coaching. Done a great job.
Ken Haley,
an old teammate, said, I think I can help you with your secondary.
Looks like he has.
He actually has, hasn't he?
3rd and 10, a last gasp. Pass is complete, and it is a first down. Danielson needed to break that tackle to move the sticks, and he did. Minute 27 to go, and Calgary will operate without a huddle. You know, yesterday we talked to the Stamps, and they all felt that watching the Western Semi that they really could exploit the Lions secondary, but it hasn't happened.
No, they've really done a good job on defense of being aggressive, of getting after the quarterback, much like that play, sacking him behind the line of scrimmage.
The Herminator.
But, I mean, these are coverage sacks, Chris, and you got to give credit to the secondary and the linebacking crew of the BC Lions. This is a very inexperienced crew, but they've all come, they're great athletes, and that's what Barato says. He says, we got guys there, they don't have a whole lot of game time, but they're great athletes, and we feel if we put them in the right situation, we can be successful.
Mike Crum has flourished since Barato took over. Here's Colley over the middle, and another picked off by Carl Kidd. Make it 8 turnovers in the game, and that's the 3rd interception tossed by Colley, and you can now officially start the celebration.
Well, you better start the celebration with 1:06. You can basically run the clock out. You see the bomb celebration just comes across right in front of Danielson. And you know what, when your things are going good, Chris, and your defense is playing that well, and they're taking chances, and they're getting positive results of the chances, we're seeing guys leave. They're coverage guys helping out each other. We saw Eric Carter leave his man coming, key interception, and return for a touchdown. Carl Kidd, same thing right here. He sees it, he reads the quarterback's eyes, leaves where he's going, and comes and makes another interception.
None of the confusion that we saw at times last week.
Number 25, Sean Millington.
And now Sean Millington and the Lions will grind it out.
I'll tell you what, this is a team on a 4-game winning streak. I mean, they've won, let's talk about this, they've won 2 on the road. They went into Edmonton, tough place to win. They've come into Calgary, almost impossible to win. I mean, it's phenomenal.
They've won 5 of 6. The only loss was in a shootout here in Calgary by a touchdown. And now Allen around the end. And if the game was in doubt, he would have put the shoulder down, I think, and come close to a first down. But
BC's going to the Grey Cup. The underdogs. Come here, Kelly. Where are we going, big dog? Well, first thing we do is get them the hell out of our locker room. Yeah, our locker room. Because we're going to the Grey Cup.
oh, and that will be so painful for the Stampeders once again to have to vacate their own room and give it up.
And you're looking at that man right there, Chris. We talked to him yesterday, and he wears his emotions on his sleeves, and he was saying to you, this might be it. I mean, how will this impact his decision, whether he wants to come back? So close, so many times, only to have it pulled repeatedly from him. I mean, what's going through his mind? I mean, AJ, a great linebacker, ambassador for the Calgary Stampeders, one of the most punishing hitters in the CFL.
Clock running.
Got him here.
Just over a half minute to go. And they'll squeeze out every second now. Charlie Taft's team started slow, but the Alouettes rallied from behind. The other team with 12 wins in the CFL this year started slow, but they never found their form. They lost their starting quarterback, taking the delay of game. 21 seconds to play.
You know, Chris, losing your starting quarterback is definitely a factor. But turnovers, I mean, you can't have 8 turnovers and expect to walk away a victor in a game of this magnitude.
Sagley angling that, and Coleman's momentum takes him out at the 33. So 15 seconds away, and we will have an original Grey Cup matchup. The BC Lions and the Montreal Alouettes have never met for the national championship.
Well, another first. And that's strange when you think about the history and the longevity of the CFL. Those two teams have never met in the Classic. It's going to be a great, great game, Chris. I mean, BC, that man right there, Damon Allen, boy, has he played well. And I just love to see the man get the respect he's due. 16 years, always being criticized, you know, and just look at what he's done. 50,000 plus yards passing, over 10,000 rushing.
2 Grey Cups and twice the MVP. He may be going for the hat trick next week. Last gasp time. Holly airing it out again. The catch was made by Travis Moore, but he was out.
Travis is number 83.
And we'll be down to 1 last play.
Well, it's just going to be so disheartening to walk back into your locker room, as you say, Chris. Yeah, we can, you know, you hear the boys and you see them celebrating on the other side.
Roger Reinson will show them around the room. He knows the specs of the Calgary dressing room.
Boy, does his decision to leave Calgary and go to BC look good on him right now, doesn't it?
2 tickets still available. And they'll be coming from Vancouver, I'm sure, as well as Montreal, to fill up the end zone seats. That's the number to call. 1 last play from Mike Colley and the Calgary Stampeders. Tossing it up. And maybe one more turnover. That'll do it. Fletcher picks it off. The BC Lions have crashed the Grey Cup party again. And they will beat Montreal in the 2000 Grey Cup Classic. Let's go down and join Scott Russell.
Right, Chris, and David Allen pitched and rolled and ran and threw, and he's going to the Grey Cup, but you would deflect all that credit away from yourself. You would say that your receivers had sure hands and that your defense played well. What can you say about your football team in total, Damon?
Well, you know, that was the key today, and I think the guys coming to this ball game, you know, we felt we can steal another one if we just come out here and play to our potential. But, you know, what can I say, man? I thank the Lord today because it's something that, you know, I prayed about always and talked about perseverance and you know, stay strong and just keep my focus on what we want to achieve this year. And we did that today as a football team, and I think it just showed, you know, our resiliency to come out here and still win in Calgary.
Damon, congratulations and good luck in the Grey Cup in this very city.
Well, we got one more to go, but I'm sure thankful that we finished this chapter. And like I said before, last week we shook half the world, and this week we shook the other half, so we shook all of Canada today.
Thank you, Damon. Good luck. Damon Allen of the BC Lions, and they win at 37-23 over the Calgary Stampeders today. They're going to the Grey Cup, and we'll return to McMahon in a moment. The victors go the spoils. The Western Conference champions are the BC Lions as they defeat the Calgary Stampeders here at McMahon Stadium. And a big part of that victory was Louis Pasaglia, 5 for 5, 2 at 42 yards. Chris Cuthbert said, "Why is this guy retiring?" How did it feel?
It felt great. We felt good all week. We've been feeling good for about a month or so. Every game we knew we can play with anybody in this league, and those losses earlier in the season, during the middle part of the season, helped us build some character. We were close in a lot of games, but we didn't win, but we never gave up. And all week long, we worked hard to show ourselves and show the rest of the country that we've got a good football team.
Your quarterback won't take any credit for this, but do you marvel at this guy?
He should. He's probably one of the all-time greats, and if people don't admire him now, they're going to miss a guy that's put on a great show for a lot of years, and he deserves a lot more credit than he does.
They marvel at you both. Good luck to you in the Cup, Louis.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah. Louis Pasaglia of the BC Lions. And here is Mike Pinball Clemens as you see Louis Pasaglia walk away. Mike, what kind of a football game was this for you to watch?
Well, this was just incredible. And Louis Pasaglia is picture perfect. He is Destiny's child. He is meant to be here. And Damon Allen, he may be the best ever to play his position. I know that's a strong statement, but when you look at what he's done, he's 37 years old, and he practically led this team on his own today. Not to mention that he has the most yards passing and the most yards rushing of any quarterback in history.
The BC Lions came into this football game with a little bit of momentum. They had done very well at the back end of the season. But I must ask you, what happened to the Calgary Stampeders aside from Dave Dickinson going down?
Well, I think turnovers was the key there. They had too many turnovers. They're a veteran crew. They tried to fight back. Even after their leader went down and they were down by 13 points going into half, they still fought back and had a chance to win. They needed to make up a touchdown in the third quarter and another touchdown in the fourth quarter. It didn't happen for them.
I know you are very excited now because it's an original Grey Cup matchup between the Montreal Alouettes and the BC Lions. What do you anticipate between those two teams?
Well, I think the big question mark right now is Mike Kringle. Remember, he went out of that ball game at the end of the game. Can he answer the bell? If he's there, I expect Montreal to run the ball and try to control the tempo. I expect the weather to have a big outcome on this game. If it's as nice as today, Damon Allen's going to try to put on the show and throw the ball. If not, he's going to have to let the drum roll and let the mill turn. Drummond and Millington will be his guys.
Mike, been great working with you today, and we'll see you at the Grey Cup here in Calgary next week.
Thank you so much, Scott. It's going to be exciting. Pandemonium.
There he is, Mike Pinball Clemens, as we celebrate a victory by the BC Lions today. They celebrate over the Calgary Stampeders. We're back in just a moment. Final goes to Sweet Louis Pasaglia and BC 37-23. They'll meet Montreal in the 88th Grey Cup at McMahon next Sunday. Damon Allen will be there too. The football festival begins tomorrow night on CBC. Grey Cup Classics 58 tilt between Winnipeg and Hamilton and Vancouver. Check your local listings. In 6 days' time, Grey Cup Saturday, the 1976 Battle of the Rough Riders, Ottawa and Saskatchewan at 1 Eastern. Grey Cup Sunday. We're live from McMahon with Brian Williams in the pregame show at 3:30 Eastern. All the news and views on Canadian football. Then Chris Walby and Chris Cuthbert, along with game host Mark Lee, the 88th Grey Cup Classic. Kickoff just after 6 p.m. It'll be the British Columbia Lions and the Montreal Alouettes, an original Grey Cup matchup. How about that? BC wins it today for all of us. Thanks for watching, and so long from McMahon Stadium. See you next time from the Grey Cup City.
Yeah, interesting story today, Blake. Expansion, as you know, is widely thought of as a dirty word. I think I can say that in professional sport, at least from a fan's perspective. 29 teams in the NBA, 30 in Big League Baseball, 30 in the NHL, and 31 in the National Football League. The question is, how can you possibly keep track of it all? Well, the fact is, I cannot. But here's an expansion story that might turn out to be good news. This expansion is happening in Ontario University football. A league that's been operating with 8 teams for the past 30 years is adding 2 more. Ottawa and Queens have been playing their football against Quebec schools, but the GGs and the Golden Gales are coming home. They will play exclusively in Ontario. Ottawa and Queens are members of the Ontario Conference in every other sport, so this move seems like a natural. It just means a little restructuring within the OUA Football League.
And the proposal the coaches set forth was to have a 10-team single conference setup, round-robin format, all the institutions playing 9 games, playing every one. 8 teams making it playoffs, a 1 versus 8, 2-7, set up for playoffs. We'd have quarterfinals, semifinals, and a Yates Cup championship.
But hold everything. That's what the coaches want. But in order for something that cut and dried to happen, the coaches have to sell the plan to their respective athletics directors.
I'd like to ensure that we're able to set up competitive schedules that make sense and that don't take us out of school for days on end just to go play a game and that kind of thing. But I think it's a good thing, and I do support it.
The Ottawa GGs played an interconference game here in Windsor last month. Ottawa here is easy on the budget. Playing Ottawa there, well, that's another story.
We went to McGill 2 years ago, and I think the trip cost us close to $12,000. And that's a pretty big chunk of change.
OUA football coaches meet again next Thursday during Vanier Cup festivities in Toronto. By that time, their athletics directors will have been consulted and this expansion move should go forward. Ottawa and Queens are in. It's just a matter of how they are made to fit in their home province. With Ottawa and Queens leaving, the Ontario-Quebec Conference is left with 4 teams, McGill, Laval, Concordia, and Bishops. They will probably look east for some sort of association with the Atlantic Conference, which also has 4 teams. It's championship week in high school football, a rematch of last year's final in the Newman Conference coming up tonight at Windsor Stadium. The Sandwich Sabres and the Herman Green Griffins, this video from their only regular season meeting on the 20th of last month. Herman winning this one with relative ease, 35-15 Griffs. Sandwich's only loss of the season. Herman winning the regular season title with a perfect record. Herman beating Sandwich in an upset in the Wetzel final a year ago. We'll see what happens. The rematch tonight at 7 at Windsor Stadium. Long Johns are not optional tonight. They are mandatory. The Wilson Conference final set for Friday night. General Amherst taking on Massey. Michel Therrien's debut behind the Montreal
championship for the Griffins. That's next. Tony, you'd almost think it was a holiday here with football on TV and turkey dinners being served up out in Cottam.
A wee bit of envy over here because of the holiday over there. Those people across the river, and of course many who live on this side, but a football game drawing a crowd at Windsor Stadium last night, and a small electrical appliance drawing a crowd of football players. 4 degrees below freezing at kickoff time. The Herman Green Griffins and the Sandwich Sabres in a rematch of last year's Wetzel final. Herman winning that one, trying to make it 2 straight over the Sabres. The Griffins unbeaten, ranked 1st in the province, and they look like it in the first half. Midway through the first quarter, Stephen Alamolu takes the handoff on the Sandwich 34. He runs a straight line to the corner. Touchdown. The convert gives Herman a 7-0 lead. Second quarter, Griffs on their own 21. The ball goes to Alamolu again, and take another look at one of the best high school athletes in the area. Once he turns the corner and gets the sideline, he's gone. 89 yards, the touchdown and the convert make it 14-0 Herman. They take a 17-0 lead into the halftime break, and it looks like it might be over for Sandwich. A single makes it 18-0 Herman in the third. Then the Sabres get it going. Tyler Kirby finding Jim Lasorda in the fourth quarter. 31 yards for the touchdown. The 2-point convert fails. It's 18-6. Tyler Kirby handing it off to Tung Bachier with about under 2 minutes to play. The 11th grader into the end zone for 5 yards out. 18-12. The way things were going, Sandwich probably could have used 3 or 4 more minutes on the clock. But as it turns out, too little, too late. Herman hangs on to win it 18-12. The Griffs are Wexford champs for the 9th time in the last 12 years.
It feels great. I mean, after so many championships, I mean, it keeps getting better. The feeling just gets greater and greater. I mean, there's no words that can explain it.
When you get your first A, or when you pass your first test, or I don't even know how to explain it. It's just you can't stop smiling. You just want to you want to hope everybody else can feel this joy. And that was a good Sabres team. They deserve a lot. They're a good team. They got good players on that team. I'm feeling real great, man. This is my second championship, and I've been waiting for this for a long time. And to be like one of the leading backs in the city, I don't know, it feels good. I'd like to just thank my offensive line, too, for blocking real well for me, and our defense for sticking it to them.
The Newman Conference is named for the man on the left. That is Al Newman, who coached 30 championship football teams at the former Patterson Collegiate and 2 national champions at AKO. Al Newman presenting the trophy to Herman last night, and I'll tell you what, good football team right there, and they beat a darn good football team to win that trophy. And that is sports.
They make good football players in these parts.
They really do.